We are live.
Yay!
Greetings, dear denizens of planet Earth.
We are not dead.
Right?
We did it right this time.
Kind of. There's the option for a countdown, but I decided I'm just not even going to bother trying to mess with that this time. And so we're live. How do we look? Let me see here. Hey, we look good. I look like I'm looking at my phone, which I'm kind of doing. And actually, let me take the hood off. There we go. Much better. Hey, Lori, welcome.
Yay!
Hi, Three Comas.
Hello.
Commas? Three Comas.
Three comas.
Is that Trace?
I think so.
Okay, that makes sense.
Makes sense.
Oh, people are showing us their usernames again instead of the names that they pick.
Yeah, I noticed it last time I was on a live. It was doing this.
But then I was on a couple of lives earlier and it was back to normal. It's weird.
Chaos.
Maybe it's something I can change, fix. Is it in community moderation? Okay. All right, so this is the Kaiju and Krittur show, where we are going to, and we have a special guest tonight. We have Scarlet, and we're going to be discussing some giant monster movies. We have Zarkorr, the Invader, and we have Godzilla 1985. We're also going to discuss some movies that we watched this week or this past week. No spoilers on those. Yeah, so now let's introduce ourselves. So I'm Doc Kaiju. You might know me from Academy on Julie B. Deep Dives live stream. And I want to invade your world with giant monsters. All right, next up.
I'm Krittur. I don't know. You don't really know me from anything. I just kind of like lurk in the comment section, you know. So that's me. Next is
I am Scarlet M. Shadows, and I lurk on Julie B. Deep Dives and Sci-Fi Vision, and occasionally Cyborg Queen Media. I do all sorts of shows. Me and Jamie are firing up Telemasca tomorrow at 11 p.m. if anybody wants to watch, what I do believe a watch party before.
Scarlet wears a lot of hats.
I'm wearing 3 hats right now. You just can't see me.
Why do I believe that?
It's true.
All right, let's see.
Got my goat.
Next up, the rules. All right.
Rules.
Yep, we got a set of rules here. All right, so I do not aim to entertain children, but I have to acknowledge that a lot of the people that follow me on social media are under 18. So, yeah. So to not offend any parents or villagers, I'm going to try to keep the chat PG-13. Also, please do not flirt with or make advances on or harass members of the chat, panel, cast, or crew. Do not talk about personal use of intoxicants. We do not want to seem to promote habits that might upset parents. No promotion of pirating, no advertising of alternative sites, watch parties, or anything like that. Be respectful and kind. This space is about community. And Godzilla is political. Political chat is fine, but be respectful and kind. Do not argue with each other. Instead, put forward statements of your own thoughts about the subject without directing them at each other. Focus on issues related to the film or content being discussed and trying to find areas of agreement rather than disagreement. Bigotry and bullying is not tolerated. And promote the show and promote yourself and promote your friends here so long as it isn't 18 plus or hateful. Currently, this stream only streams twice a month due to our own schedules, so we're not really concerned about competing, so feel free to promote in the chat. And there's the rules. Oh, we'll need that. All right, so let's start off with reading from the chat and seeing how everyone's doing. How was everyone doing today? And that's right. I remember I can actually read from the chat on here now and highlight comments.
So I wonder if people consider this Halloween weekend or consider next weekend Halloween weekend. Or both.
Both.
I can see both. We were gonna trunk or treat earlier, but then it started like raining and it was cold, and I was like, "Nah, I'm not getting the 2-year-old sick."
Where
Where
do you live, may I ask?
Alabama.
Yeah, there's been a lot of rain here in Michigan. It doesn't make walking around in like historical villages and stuff good with all the mud and stuff.
Right.
Because we have some fun ones where people there's entertainment and people hand out candy and stuff.
So we got Amy here. Hi, Amy.
Hello, Amy.
Trace is saying hi to everyone.
What's up?
We got Vibrant Numerals. Hey,
Hello.
Vibrant. Amy, if you could drop Vibrant's channel in the chat, it'd be much appreciated. All right, so what did folks watch this week? I think I'll go last because I got a couple planned that I want to talk about. Or I can go first.
Last night I watched Spenguli, and they had The Fly and Return of the Fly with Vincent Price.
The originals?
That's cool.
Yeah.
I don't think I've seen the old ones. I've seen
you
the
should definitely see the
one.
old ones, because the first Fly it kind of plays out more like a mystery than a true horror film. So it has like mystery elements in it. Like you don't know what really is going on until the end. The surprise.
Okay.
You probably guess.
Yeah, at this point, yeah.
So, I watched Zarkorr, Godzilla 1985, and then I also watched Monsters Inc. just because I needed that in my life. And, we're not supposed to spoil anything, and the movie's like over 20 years old now, but I cry every time at the end. It's such a beautiful movie.
Oh. I remember liking that one. It's been a long time since I've seen it.
I saw it in theaters.
And how old were you when it came out? Do you remember? I don't remember how old
I was like 4. I was itty bitty.
Yeah, because I thought I was a lot younger when I saw it. Hey, Bill Chill's here.
What's up?
I got a picture. I went to an event tonight and I got a picture with a 2-headed Black Phillip kind of goat, and I was very, very happy with this picture.
Oh, nice.
I was standing by some red lights, and the red lights were reflected off my glasses, and it looks like I have like red eyes. eyes.
And let's see. This week I watched. What was it? So I watched Mr. Crocket, which I thought was freaking fantastic. Oh man, that movie! It's a horror movie about a kind of like a children's show host, like a Pee Wee Herman or Mr. Rogers type of character, and then they got like the puppet or costume characters that go with it and stuff. But and it's basically he comes through the TV and punishes bad parents, and a little bit more than that, but I don't want to give away too much. But oh man, this movie was phenomenal. Apparently it came out around last Halloween time or something like that. I only discovered it recently, and I think it's my favorite horror movie that I've seen this year. I think it was all practical effects, if I remember right. And I know I do a little bit of stuff with AI, but I have a real bias towards practical effects. I just love practical effects. There's something about the way it looks. It just feels more. I don't know. I just love it. But and it had this really catchy theme song in it too. Um, that got stuck in my head for for days, and I think that's something that and well, the theme song and how it got stuck in my head, it made me think like there's been discussion about how we don't really have any truly iconic horror characters anymore. Um, like with the notoriety of say like Jason or Freddy Krueger, um, or Michael Myers or Chucky. Like we kind of have now that clown was it Art the Clown. He's kind of entering that
Yeah.
space and notoriety. The It Clown a little bit, but not quite to the same degree. And I was researching what do you call it? Scoring, film scoring, scoring the music for films. And there's a discussion or debate about how film scoring lately is more about atmospheric music, and setting the tone, stuff like that. Whereas it was a little bit more, they focused a little bit more catchy and stuff before, like they would have more theme songs and things like that. A
Mhm.
little less focus on being just like specifically atmospheric. And I think that maybe they've kind of gone that route with movies in general,
Mhm.
where they're focusing more on the story and the feel, but not bringing out enough of the character. And I feel like
Yeah.
this film, Mr. Crockett was able to like bring out like all of that character in like the characters and in the movie itself. So I was pretty impressed. I just wish it got more exposure.
Yeah, I like I've actually made up my own theme songs for horror movies. You know, like they have like Killer Clowns from Outer Space, and I had that theme song by
Yeah.
Dickies. And then I think of ones like Saw, and then I think of the Presidents of the United States of America with she's Lump, and I'm like, it's Saw, it's Saw, it's Saw. They're in a bathroom, you know, kind of. I'm like, why don't these new franchise? I mean, Saw's an old franchise, but I mean, new franchises not have a theme song and get you all hyped.
They do. I mean, even if the movie isn't very good, sometimes that theme song makes it worth returning to.
Mm-hmm.
There's
Like Killer Clowns.
or Piranaconda
I haven't heard
or
that one.
or Zarkorr.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I was gonna say Invasion of Astro Monster.
But yeah, and I also watched Hell House LLC 2. I'm really liking the Hell House series. I watched the
Oh, they
first
had a
one.
second one.
Yeah, they have a lot of them. They just came out with a new one. I'm not far enough to in the series to watch the new one, I don't think. But the second one definitely lacked in the acting, but it seemed to get the action going a lot faster, which I enjoyed. Um, and it almost seemed like it was a little bit of a spoof on the first one, but they both kind of have like some comedy qualities to them. But I enjoyed it. I enjoyed it. Hey, Dieter, good to see
Eater.
Oh, the goat. It's here.
you.
Oh,
Yeah, I'm at a loss of thinking other horror movies other than Dream Warriors. That was a good one too. That was a good jam.
I'm trying to remember that. Oh, yeah, okay, I remember that song.
Like Dokken.
Yeah, back in the 80s, they had like a lot of good music in movies. Um,
Yeah,
like
but
yeah,
even like the John Carpenter Halloween theme is so iconic. And
exactly.
Tubular Bells from The Exorcist. I
And
mean,
John Carpenter actually recently went on tour. He's on tour, right?
mhm.
He's like performing his music
Yes,
from
maybe.
those
oh,
movies.
that's cool. I didn't know about that.
Yeah, I saw that advertised on I think it was Facebook or something.
So, is there's only one soundtrack in the last like decade that has ever gotten stuck in my head, and I bet you nobody's like really, really seen it. But Greasy Strangler has one of those iconic soundtracks. Just like a little side tangent. I wanted to mention that.
Oh, and Scarlet, I saw that Goblin is on tour.
Oh, I've seen them twice live. They're great. They don't disappoint.
They're going to be playing in Boston, but I don't really have the time or money to be going to see
You
them.
should go see them.
I wonder how many people like go dressed up for stuff like that.
Trust us, your favorite Dario Argento character.
I don't know if I've actually seen any of the movies. I just really like the music.
I mean, they're really cool. My ex
Oh
was a
wait,
drummer, and when I saw the band in San Diego, we talked to the drummer for like 20 minutes. So they're
I've
very
seen
approachable.
I've seen The Church like 1.5 times.
Oh yeah. Why at halftime?
Well, I put it on just for like background atmosphere at one point
Oh,
while I was doing something else, probably dishes or something, and because it has a really good soundtrack and it's got beautiful cinematography, and it's a fun
mhm.
movie. And all right, should we start our first feature presentation?
Sure.
It's got to
Sure.
be Zarkorr.
Zarkorr, where the wind runs running through the plain.
So Zarkorr has like this really awesome theme song at the end of the movie, and the I can't remember offhand who sings it, but they're a real band, and they've done soundtrack music before. I think it's technically a flautist and composer
Hmm.
is like the main dude, and they were called like the Fusby something or something like that. Fusby Morris, I think was the name, and because some of the videos that I found were just like him performing, like playing flute, and I
Mhm.
noticed like skipping around through like his tracks, like from different soundtracks. He did was it Ghoulies 2,
Oh.
and
Ooh.
there were a bunch of them that he did some in, but there were like always like flutes in the background. So I feel like he's probably like a flautist. Is that what we call it? Flautist and also a composer.
Not enough music has flute in it. Not this day and
Mhm.
age.
Hmm, I can agree with that. And so Zarkorr Zarkorr had the band trio working on it. It was produced and executive produced by or whatever by Charles Band and Alan and his father Alan Band, um, and the music was composed by Charles Band's brother Richard Band, and you may know Charles Band as the man who runs and is the producer for Full Moon. Let's see, they've had a lot of names. What Full Moon Entertainment, Full Moon, was it Pictures, Full Moon Studios, I think at 1.2, and now Full Moon Features. I think they had to do a lot of name changes because of financial issues.
Mm.
Um, and re and so like yeah. Um, but before that, he was Empire Pictures, and he lost. He had to sell that off. I think it was to MGM or Paramount. But I noticed all of his stuff from Empire Pictures is on MGM Plus right now, so I
Huh?
think it was MGM. So that's where you'll find like Ghoulies 1 and 2, Troll, the original, not Troll 2. He had nothing to do
Oh,
with that
Troll 2 is fantastic.
one. Troll 2 is a lot of fun, but it's a very different movie than the original
There's
Troll.
Yeah.
also a band that named themselves Troll 2, and they're great.
But it seemed like when he was with Empire Picture, well, when he had Empire Pictures, that was when he was producing the highest quality content for the most part. He carried on for some of his Full Moon productions. Um, those were also high quality, but I feel like at it would rise and fall at points in quality, probably depending on what he could afford at the time, because he has a great imagination, loves to pump out a lot of stuff, is constantly trying to scheme on how he's going to manage to get it done. And I admire him. But sometimes there's some quality dips. And for this movie, he wanted to him and his family and some others. They wanted to put together a giant monster movie, and they put together a sub studio or whatever, a sub label called Monster Island Pictures, I think, and or Monster Island
Sounds about right.
Studios. And they only put out 2 movies. It was Zarkorr and Kra, and they did not do they did not do very well. And I don't know if anyone's ever seen anyone walking around with a Zarkorr T-shirt or showing off their Zarkorr or Kra action figures.
Tattoos.
Their tattoos. Yeah, I got Zarkorr right here, right off my heart. He's my man. But yeah. But I enjoyed Zarkorr as a kid. I didn't see Kra as a kid. I don't think I've actually watched all of Kra yet. But it's on my list. I intend to watch
I
that
was going to
soon.
say, add it to the list.
Yeah, but so Zarkorr is like common full moon fare in a way. Like it's written kind of to be like a comedy, but read straight. So they're reading and acting their lines as if this stuff is all like real and really happening, but it's written all as comedy. So it's like a weird type of humor, and they they wrote it in like 3 days, and the the main writer is actually a pretty famous writer. He wrote 13 Ghosts and a couple of other famous things. So he's pretty successful, and he's a really good writer. But let me pull up his name here.
Which 13 Ghosts, the old one or the new one?
Oh, the newer
That's
one.
what I was going to ask.
Yeah, no, the original was probably better, but
Yeah, I like William Castle Fair. It's all good.
and so some movies that you might know from Full Moon Studios would be like Puppet Master, The Demonic Toys, Doll Man, Evil Bong, um, the I think just the later crap, what's the name of that clown? Trying to remember the
Fucking
name.
Killjoy?
Killjoy, yeah. He might have produced the first one, but the first one was an urban horror movie, and Killjoy was black and played by a black actor. But then after that, he became white, which was weird, and I feel like kind of low key racist. But
Yeah.
Whitewashing of rules, you know?
yeah, definitely. And so, but I still love that franchise and Killjoy as a character. So it's hard for me to like completely hate on it. And let's see, writer was Neil Marshall Stevens. Yeah, he's known for the 2001 13 Ghosts. He started his career on the Monsters TV series, and
Oh,
he's done a bunch of other Full Moon projects. Like he was the writer for Head of the Family, which is one of the better Full Moon movies. That's a really good one. I'm a big fan of Full Moon in general. I was
What is that movie about, Doc?
oh crud, that one's about weird mutant in, inbred family. We're not going to get too. We're not. I can digress too much. But oh
This
god,
guy
there was
didn't pass the rules.
yeah, there was a scene that involved him, the guy with the big head, really liking a lady, and it was
Okay.
very disturbing.
All right.
He was he was a writer for Blade: The Iron Cross, which I really enjoyed as well. Bunch of Puppet Master movies, some of the later ones like Accidents, Termination, Hellraiser, Deader, a short film. Not
Oh
familiar with
yeah.
that one.
I'm a fan of the older Hellraiser films. The older sequel. I mean, the higher the sequel, the more I like it. It seems.
The Phantom Eye, that sounds familiar. And The
Don't know.
Killer Eye. Oh, and Talisman. I feel like I've seen Talisman. Shrieker, Hideous, that was a good one. That's another one that I'm not going to talk about right this moment. But yeah, so that so kind of like some tongue-in-cheek humor, some like, and I think there's what, like 7 minutes of Zarkorr footage altogether of so it's about just to give a brief synopsis, or Critter, do you want to give it, or either of
I
you,
mean,
or
you can give it. Like, I feel like you'll say it better than me because that, like, I put it on and I was just sucked in. Let me just say it like that. I rather enjoyed it, but I don't know that I can describe it so well.
all right, so without getting into spoilers, just giving a brief intro. It's about a monster bursts out of was it a mountain or a volcano? I think it was volcano, dormant volcano,
Yeah, I
and
think so.
starts like just like going on a rampage. And you know, they um, I guess that the one part I'll give in this section is that there's a guy that he gets approached by a little alien who tells him that he's the one that has to go and save the day. And
But she's dressed like a mall girl from the 80s. I'll just say girl.
Yeah,
From the 80s.
I was just about to say.
and let's see, what else can I say without getting into spoilers? Um, I guess they filmed the Zarkorr footage before they filmed the rest of the movie, and just kind of built the rest of the movie around it. They wrote it in like 3 days, and yeah, it kind of shows. But hey,
Yeah.
I think they did all right, maybe for a 3 day writing schedule.
Oh, for sure.
I enjoyed it. I know I read a lot. I watched a lot of reviews and listened to a lot of reviews that it was really mixed. You had like maybe two people for every five. Two people liked it, five people hated it. Uh,
I
it's
liked it.
definitely niche. Yeah, I think maybe for us, maybe it has some nostalgia factor, or maybe because we're already fans of like other stuff produced by Charles Band, and like kind of like this like indie B like type of movies. Um, and like Charles Band is really good at making a movie with like almost no budget. So I think he did all right. I enjoyed it. I thought it
I'm
was
gonna
funny.
say the monster looked better than the glam rock glam metal shark that I have as my avatar.
Oh yeah.
That's the first thing I thought. Oh, it looks better than that one, but I mean, I love a little shark guy.
Oh yeah, the monster was cool looking.
Oh,
Yeah.
The action was actually pretty good. The destruction scenes. Um like that part was good. And they did a really good job, I thought, of pacing, taking those, like cutting that up and putting it like in between like scenes. The only problem is though is that some of those scenes were just not memorable enough, I guess, because there were a bunch of people who reviewed the movie who said, "Oh, they showed him at the beginning and then they didn't show him again until the end." And like, wait, no,
yeah,
did you watch the movie? They
yeah.
definitely sprinkled him in throughout the entire
Yeah.
movie. It was just, maybe you weren't paying attention enough to the scene. Maybe it didn't draw you in. That's what I'm guessing. But I thought the scenes that he appeared were pretty cool. I
Yeah,
liked the
I
suit
like that he
making in it.
shot purple lasers out of his eyes.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and
I
they
really
used.
like the practical effects and the score for sure. Yeah. And I I liked it. I gotta say, I really liked it a lot more than I thought I was gonna.
Do you know how long it took to shoot the monster footage?
No, I don't remember. Probably not very
3 days.
Yeah,
Probably not 3 days.
probably 3 days.
Yeah.
Um, I know nowadays, like Charles Band says that he's gotten it down to like almost like a science where he can like film a movie in like one weekend or something like
Oh,
that.
nice.
I guess after, because he's been making movies for a long time. He's
So
made so
he's got
many.
kind of like a Roger Corman aesthetic.
Yep, he already knows, sets everything up so he can just go right in, plow
Yeah.
through it.
Let me work my magic.
But yeah, it had a good score. It was definitely I could tell just by listening to it that it was a full moon production when I
Yeah.
listened to when I saw it recently. For some reason though, because it'd been a while between viewings, um, I I as a kid I thought it was associated with Trauma, not Full Moon for
Oh
some
yeah.
reason. Um, I don't know.
No,
Maybe I
it's not
just want.
offensive enough.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, because Charles Band will push it a little bit, but not like Lloyd Kaufman will. Oh man. Oh God.
Like Kaufman's my hero.
I- Now, Troma didn't make any giant monster movies, did they?
I don't think so.
Nothing I
I
can
wish
think
they
of
did.
offhand.
I don't
I'm
have
gonna
a
have to look.
fast Google at my fingertips.
Are your fingertips? Oh,
Yeah.
oops. I Shadow Skunk.
What's that?
Uh, Maybe I can delete that part. I don't. Anyway.
If I would have been on it, I would have done this as you were saying it.
All right. Was I gonna say anything else? All right. So, anything else we want to say about Zarkorr before we move on to Godzilla 1985?
I'm
I'm
good to go.
good. I'm afraid to spoil anything.
Yeah, we can talk about more and anything we forget.
I like the fact the movie had a cryptozoologist.
Yeah, and they're taken
Yeah.
seriously in that world. All right. So Godzilla 1985. Oh man. This was the first Godzilla movie that I remember watching. Um, Apparently the first I had actually seen was King Kong versus Godzilla, and but I didn't really remember that one. I remember this one because my parents bought it when it first came out on VHS. Because I was born in '84, um, and this had to have been when my parents were still together. So I had to have been like anywhere between 1 and 3 when I first saw Godzilla in 1985, and yeah, so I kind of grew up like always having Godzilla, and this was that first movie that I really remember. So it's a big nostalgia factor for me, going back and rewatching this.
Yeah, I read that it's like one of the highest selling VHSs of all time.
Oh, really?
Yeah, when it came out.
That's cool.
I know it did really well it did fairly well in Japan when it came out. And here in the US though, it didn't do very well at the box office, but it did really well in VHS sales. So I guess that makes sense. Apparently it made like the same amount as the theatrical run. But yeah. What about you, Critter? When did you first see it? Or see
Okay, so
a Return of Godzilla? Oh yeah, so I probably explained. So Godzilla 1985 is the American version or the Americanized version of 1984's Return of Godzilla. And this is a version where they threw in Raymond Burr, who played Steve Martin in the original Godzilla movie. Not the comedian Steve Martin.
That's where I get confused.
Yeah. And so they tried not to call him like Steve Martin, like directly. So they might call him. So I think they call him Steve at one point, but they mostly call him Mr. Martin throughout Godzilla 1985 to try to like prevent confusion with the comedian who had become popular around that time. And
yeah.
this was a reboot of the Godzilla franchise. Kind of, it ignores all the movies between basically all the movies that came before it, except the very first Godzilla movie, and brings Godzilla back to being scary again. And the last Godzilla movie before it was Terror of Mechagodzilla. And while Terror of Mechagodzilla is it's a really good movie, it's really well written. As a kid, I did not like it. It was too dark and depressing for me, and I think that tone shift at the time, because Godzilla at the time Godzilla had basically become a superhero type of character, and the movies had basically become like a WWE match with giant monsters. Um, and then they had that sudden tone shift to something like really dark and serious and depressing, and also using the same kind of suitmation and silliness, like kind of combining it with that silliness from the earlier films. And as a kid, it just didn't jive right for me, and um, I wasn't a fan. But as an adult, going back and watching it, I think it's a brilliant movie. Still depressing, but a brilliant movie. But apparently,
Yeah.
it kind of killed the Godzilla Showa era. And so I think that was what, 1977, 79?
I think it's like 75 or 76
Okay.
for Terror.
And then one of
So,
the big producers of Godzilla, one of the original producers of Godzilla, who produced all the Godzilla and Mothra stuff, I believe, and or at least if he didn't produce it, um, he oversaw the script, was Tanaka, and he he decided, okay, it's time to bring back Godzilla in 1984. There were a couple of failed efforts to revive Godzilla before that, or one anyway, a notable one from America. And America was going to make their first, I guess, Godzilla movie that was going to be attempted to be titled Godzilla 3D. And it was going to have like a T-Rex looking Godzilla. And they didn't end up getting the final, I guess, whatever, and they ended up having to cancel doing that. And so then that freed up Toho to go and do whatever they wanted. And they decided, okay, we're going to put out another Godzilla movie. It's going to be new and fresh, make Godzilla scary again, a bit more serious. I feel like they're probably also inspired a bit by the 1970s King Kong, because I feel like they're kind of like some similar, has like kind of like a similar tone to it as the 1970s King Kong. And when I think of like, when I thought of Godzilla and King Kong as a kid, I thought I would think of like the 1970s King Kong and the 1980s Godzilla as like the contemporary versions.
yeah, I agree with that.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Bring
the
up the
feel.
IMDb page, but I'm accidentally clicking on ads instead because of my goggles. But yeah, so the first series of Godzilla movies, and with including the first the original Mothra film, Rodan, Varan the Unbelievable, Frankenstein Conquers the Earth, its sequel, War of the Gargantuas, and a bunch of others, are all part of what tends to be referred to as the Showa era of Godzilla verse, or whatever you want to call it. And so they were doing a cinematic universe before Marvel was. They're not the first to do it, but they're one of the first to do it. And but
But theirs is better.
theirs is
Just
better.
gonna throw
Yeah,
that out
maybe.
there.
Maybe theirs is pretty iconic. And so Godzilla 1985, while technically not in the Heisei era, kicked off what is known as the Heisei era of Godzilla films, which were after 1985 was Godzilla vs. Biollante, Godzilla vs. King Ghidorah in 1991, Godzilla vs. Mothra in 1992, Godzilla vs. Mechagodzilla in 1993, Godzilla vs. Space Godzilla in 1994, and Godzilla vs. Destroyer in 1995.
I think that directly correlates to Zarkorr coming out the year after Destroya.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, Zarkorr was actually kind of so Charles Band is proudly embraces exploitation films. He calls it up. He calls them, and it's basically they exploit like something that's going on during that time, and during that time, the American Godzilla movie had just come out or was just being promoted. The 1997 Roland Emmerich Godzilla movie. I probably said the name wrong or mixed two of the names, but the TriStar Godzilla film. And so they were kind of trying to ride on that success. And I guess they only got 2 movies in before realizing they didn't have the market that they had hoped for it, which is unfortunate because I think it'd be the world would be a lot more fun with more of these. But we still have other companies carrying on the legacy, like Asylum. Their content can be a little bit of a mixed bag, but they have some good entries in there. I actually liked some of the Mega Sharks.
I have the first 3.
And I don't remember if Asylum did Sharktopus, but I loved the Sharktopus films. Those were a lot of fun. So I guess you can see like where my tastes are. they're not very high. My tastes are in the bottom of the barrel. As you can probably tell, we're bringing this show from the budget bin at a Dollar General on Planet X right here. But I think it's getting cool enough where I can run my laptop without it overheating. So I might be able to enhance the show a little bit and at least show images and stuff in the next one.
Righteous.
Yeah, upgrade, hopefully. All right, so before we go over to spoiler section for 1985. Oh yeah, so I've talked a lot. Before I talk more spoiler-free stuff about Godzilla 1985, what do you folks want to say about it?
At first, I thought it was going to be one of those movies where it had one scene with Raymond Burr in it, and it had his eyes, and he was looking at that Jade Dragon, and I thought that was going to be it. And then they were still going to put his name at the top of the poster.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, because for Zarkorr, they had was it Mark Hamilton?
Hamilton. Yeah,
They made
because I was
sure.
looking it up last night, and my boyfriend was like, "Oh, Mark Hamill's in it," and we looked at it and like, "Oh, Mark Hamilton."
I feel like Charles Band has admitted, because I listened to his autobiography, Confessions of a Puppet Master, on Spotify. That is a fantastic read, very entertaining.
Great
I highly
name.
recommend it, especially if you are into like indie filmmaking. I think it's something good to check out. But I'm pretty sure he admitted to at times intentionally like finding or using actors' names that mirrored the stage names of more famous actors. And so like I can't remember any of the real ones. So like say like there was like a Sarah
Steve Martin.
Silverman. Like Steve Martin, yeah, he would have found an actor whose real name was Steve Martin and put him on and put the name there. So it says Steve Martin. You go to watch it, and there's no Steve Martin.
Well, I mean, there's
It's
easy
not the one
people
you're
like
familiar with.
if you can find a Will Smith or something, it's pretty easy.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
I think he's done a couple things like that before. I don't remember if he said he did it intentionally or if it just like worked out that an actor had like the same name, and so he's like, no, we should run with that one.
This actor has a certain something.
But yeah, so
It could be just that his name's Jude Law, but you know.
Oh, and Zarkorr, the Zarkorr's roar is literally the roar from the T-Rex from Jurassic Park.
Yeah, I kind of noticed that.
And I'm not
thought
sure
it
how they
sounded
got away
familiar.
with that. I don't know how they got away with that. Maybe Jurassic Park used something that was public domain too. I have no idea, but hey, they did it. And so for oh yeah, sorry, you guys were talking about Godzilla 1985.
Yeah, I mean, I also noticed that. I mean, despite it's like lack of success, I would think that he made a lot of money with the Dr. Pepper adverts throughout.
Yeah.
Oh, that's right. So
And you even showed me there was a link to a Dr. Pepper commercial.
Yeah. All right. Let me bring up my notes here. All right. So
I hope that's not too spoilery for the
no, no,
Dr.
not at
Pepper fan.
all. But yeah. So
I'm actually drinking one right now. I just want to throw
Oh,
that out there.
that's perfect. You
Oh,
should hold
that's
it up to the
funny.
camera often.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. We're not
Oh, I get
brand
live on
sponsored.
YouTube.
So so Toho realized, okay, so the movie did well in Japan. Now we want to move this. We want to distribute it internationally, and New World Cinema obtained it, and but they had done like some dubbed versions before New World Cinema took it over and did their own version, which became Godzilla 1985. But the dubs were kind of inferior, not really as not really gonna hit it for a theatrical release in the U.S. New Line Cinema wanted something a bit better, so they decided we're going to take the movie and we're going to revamp it, and they got additional funding for the movie by Dr. Pepper, who was who decided, okay, um, we'll help you with the funding, but you got to do some product placement in the film, and we're gonna run some Godzilla Dr. Pepper ads, and they they had they made a music video for MTV um, with some song. Hold on, let me pull it up here. So I made a playlist of the like random obscure stuff that like ties into this movie, and you can actually find that playlist too in my on my channel.
Yeah,
So
please tell me Godzilla has a Dr. Pepper in his hand.
oh yeah, there's also like a Mrs. Zilla in the second
Oh, the
commercial.
whole family.
Yeah,
The
and
kids.
it was called "I Was Afraid to Love You" was the music video, and
Afraid to love Dr. Pepper.
does it tell me who performed it? I probably have it in my notes. No, it doesn't say here, but let's see, I have to have it here. Well, I guess I didn't write down the name of the artist. But yeah, there were a couple of music videos associated with this movie. The movie also opened with Bambi meets Godzilla at the beginning
Oh,
of the
yes.
film.
A classic.
Classic.
That's classic. Yeah, I wouldn't want to be Bambi in that scenario. Um, and I've got that on the playlist. Um, yeah, there were two Dr. Pepper commercials, and so the 1984 version, the Japanese version, actually ended had a different song in the soundtrack at the end. I'm not going to talk about the end quite yet of the movie, but there was this like almost like a love song called good what was it? Goodbye Godzilla,
Oh,
and,
Yeah.
and that song like is that really catchy though, but I can only remember like "Goodbye to Godzilla" like as like the only words that I remember are "My old friend." Uh, Very 80s, very 80s.
I was gonna say it was very over the top.
Oh yeah. I'm kind of glad they removed it for the American version, or if they well, I feel like they should have left it, but put it at the very end of the credits.
mm-hmm.
Oh, do I have more stuff? Am I missing things?
I get mad at streaming services when they won't let me listen to watch the credits and listen to the final song.
Mm.
It always wants
Oh
to
yeah,
go
that always
on.
annoys
Yeah.
me. I have to shut off the autoplay, and even when I shut off the autoplay, it still wants to like do that on
Yeah.
some of them,
Mm-hmm.
or at least end it soon, like early. Uh, okay,
Yeah,
so yeah,
those kind of things I want to savor.
for so New Line Cinema, New Line, I mean New World Cinema, not New Line. New Line makes Freddy Krueger.
Yeah.
Um, New World Cinema took it over. They made they filmed their own additional scenes with American military people, and they brought back Raymond Burr as Steve Martin. And
Not Steve
initially,
Martin, that's remember.
and initially they wanted to make it a comedy, but Raymond Burr said
Should have
no.
gotten Steve Martin. I mean, come on.
Yeah, but Raymond Burr said no. I'm not going to. I'm not going to do it if it's comedy. It has to maintain the allegory of Godzilla as nuclear destruction, and those warnings and everything needs to maintain a serious tone to the film.
Mm-hmm.
And that he wanted to do it serious, be respectful to the original and everything. Mm-hmm. And so he kind of saved the movie, I feel like.
I think so too.
And then there's a little bit more that I'll get into later about his input there. But I have to say, like, growing up, I loved this. I loved his scenes in the movie. My grandmother really loved watching Perry Mason, Murder, She Wrote. So Raymond Burr and Angela Lansbury were kind of like always around when I was a kid. I also really loved Bedknobs and Broomsticks. It was one of my favorite movies as a kid. As an adult, I have a harder time getting into that film, but as a kid, I loved it.
Yeah, she's also really great in The Portrait of Dorian Gray.
I haven't seen that. I need to watch that one.
That's a pretty good one. Classic.
So something I noticed about Godzilla 1985 is that so the main composer, at least for the Japanese score, is Reijiro Koroku, and he also composed the music for the 1980s Guyver anime. And my brother and I are huge Guyver fans. My brother bigger than me. My brother's read I guess like everything there is of the manga so far, but pretty much it's done. It's never going to be finished because I think the guy's kind of retired from making comic books and now focusing just on being a surgeon. I mean, that pays more probably.
I agree.
Probably.
And let's see here. Some things that don't really spoil too much. They increased Godzilla from 50 meters to 80 meters tall. This made the miniatures less detailed, and they used dark scenes to kind of disguise that. They brought back the ears and fangs for Godzilla, which I liked. I like my Godzilla with ears at least.
I like them with fangs, the sharp, skinny teeth, especially. So cool.
The fangs are cool. The eyes looked a little bit derpy for me, but other than the eyes, I thought it was a great costume. Yeah. A little sleepy. As if he's inhaling all the fumes from those nuclear reactors.
He's probably got a contact out of something.
Yeah, it's got a little something there from that. And that interesting thing about that costume too. That costume, so it's called 84 Goji. All the costumes have names, all the suits, and that one's 84 Goji. And it went missing shortly after the movie was filmed and was never seen again. There are a couple of Godzilla movies, a couple of Godzilla costumes that disappeared like that. Hey, Samuel's here. Hi, Samuel.
Hello. It's like the Ark of the Covenant, it disappeared until the one day when it's supposed to be found, it will be found.
Right. Hey, what was
it? We all just must hold on.
Was it the I think it was the Bio-Goji costume that like went missing and then was found dumped in a rice paddy. Like some lady found it and at first like thought it was like an alligator or something. That's got to be terrifying. Like you're over there just trying to work, and you see this like big monster thing. First thing that you think is alligator, but wait, no, that can't be right. Proportions aren't quite right.
That alligator has tall dorsal fins.
Sleepy eyes.
She discovered a real life baby Godzilla. There's like pictures online of it being like wheeled away in a wheelbarrow. There's actually quite a few Godzilla costumes that I'm pretty sure that have gone missing. I think the both Godzilla and Anguirus from Godzilla Raids Again. I think both of those costumes went missing. They got shipped to America for the U.S. version called Gigantus the Fire Monster, and they I guess they got maybe they got used for some scenes, but at some point they just completely disappeared.
That's what you get for trusting Americans.
Well, that's kind of how Toho felt with that deal. Toho's definitely got they've definitely been screwed over quite a bit by American studios in the past. Legendary's been pretty decent to them, but they still get nervous, and you can tell because they did backpedaling with whether or not other monsters such as Dagon in the MonsterVerse were Godzillas. And so, like, they want us that Godzilla is the only Godzilla. The others are Godzilla-like creatures because they don't want to run into licensing issues with because if they allow Legendary to make Godzilla kind of like a species and they make other characters out of the Godzilla species, then potentially Legendary could go and then say, okay, well, these are our characters, so these ones, so we can make movies with them.
Yeah. Leave Toho out of the money loop.
And let's see. At the time the movie was released in Japan, it was competing with Ghostbusters and Gremlins, and it did fairly well, even competing against those two. And both of those movies are iconic here in the U.S. Like more people have seen those than Godzilla 1985 by far. And as probably everyone here already knows, I'm kind of obsessed with Gremlins as well as Godzilla.
I thought of you when I was looking at a Halloween display where there was an ogre trying to hit like a spike-like gremlin with a stick.
Oh yeah.
I was like, no, ogre, no.
And let's see here. All right, that's all I've got for spoiler-free stuff.
Yay.
Oh, right. And as a reminder to our audience, we are trying to keep the chat clean. No one said anything bad yet, but I just wanted
I'm trying.
I just wanted an excuse to use this.
Prop, yes.
All right. So I guess we need to sing the spoiler song. It's spoiler time, spoiler time. Let me see if I can figure out how to put the banner sign.
Spoiler alert! Spoiler
alert! I think I can create a banner. Let's see.
Don't listen if you don't want to know. Spoilers are here for the show. Getting my goat already. Trying to fix my hands.
It's on. Yay! It's very small. It's very small, but there's a banner. Happens if I press.
I do appreciate that because I was watching Only Murders in the Building podcast and they spoiled the end of Murders at the End of the World for me, and I had never started watching it. I always wanted to watch it.
Oh no!
Just straight up, no spoiler. It's like it's just like this at the end. I'm like, what? Why?
I've run into that on streams too.
It's not that old of a show. I'm like, why?
I saw that there was a stream happening about Hell House LLC, and it was just labeled Hell House LLC stream discussion stream, and so I knew I was taking a gamble because it could be about just the first film or the whole series. Turned out it was about the whole series, and so some stuff got spoiled on me pretty much right away when I entered the stream. And it's like, ah, shoot. Oh well. It didn't actually really spoil too much though, and they they ended up getting to it in the second film anyway, and it didn't really relate. it didn't really matter, so it was fine.
I remember that there were 3, and I watched them, and I don't remember any of it because I don't know. It must not have been that memorable.
No, there were a bunch of them. Oh yeah, actually no, you're right. I think that there were probably 3. I think they came out the 4th or 5th one though. Right now, I'm not sure.
Yeah,
4th
that's what
one.
I think. It's definitely at least number 4. And I thought that it was weird that they came out like so much later. And now I don't even remember anything about them. That's what happens when you get old.
No, I had made trivia questions, but I forgot them. But I'm not sure that. So have folks read read? Have the folks here seen the movies?
I haven't read the novelization of Dracula 1985. Or the novelization of.
They love Gremlins in the Shadow Skulk house. Yeah.
Yeah.
And they have a ferret named Gremlin. I have.
That's one of those I watched at a young age.
I'll show off my Gremlins later when I take off my my goggles. I didn't set a color timer this time though. All right. So for Zarkorr, what were people's favorite scenes? If you can remember any.
I enjoyed any time he came in with his purple lasers and start. I love those scenes. Those scenes are really good.
Those were probably the best scenes in the film.
Transfixed. Other than that, I did love the 80s mall girl.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, that was funny. I even texted that to
boot kind of
him.
person, and she has some sweet like white boots and mall hair, and I can appreciate that.
Yeah, one of the best lines was and what was it? She looked like a tiny why do you look like a tiny teenage mall tramp?
Yeah, how can you look like
I didn't know if we could say that word.
So
that was one of my favorites too. And one of my favorites too was like basically like, is there life after death? And then they're like, oh, is that a spoiler if I say what she said?
Oh no, we're in the spoiler section. We can spoil away.
Yeah, we're in
spoilers.
Okay,
I'm sorry.
It's all good.
No, it's like, is there life after death? Nope.
Yeah, the way she just like flat out said like nope.
Yep.
Sat there.
I was in like 7th grade when I saw this, and I loved it. Oh man.
It forever changed your philosophy.
Forever changed my my philosophy. Is there life after death? Nope. No, I did not take that philosophy, actually. But I thought it was funny. It was like, I think my favorite line though in the movie was when she is describing like what Zarkorr is impervious to. So yeah, so let me backpedal a little bit. So Zarkorr bursts through a mountain. It starts off with right in the action. Zarkorr bursts through the dormant volcano, starts going on a rampage, appears on the news and stuff, and there's a cryptozoologist on the news talking about Zarkorr and kind of not really like arguing with the reporter. So the cryptozoologist is like, well, the reporter keeps calling it a dinosaur and stuff, and the cryptozoologist is like, actually, this can't be a dinosaur. This particular volcano is actually a newer volcano and showed up and like emerged from or whatever, like after the dinosaurs were extinct or some such. And the reporter is just like trying to like ignore her and shut her up. And the reporter's name was I thought it was at first that she said Debbie Downerson, but it's Debbie Dowerson, I think.
Yeah, I thought it was Debbie Downerson too. I was like,
yeah.
That cat has pneumonia. It should be like, Mothman's not real. Ding, 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 ring.
Then we got this postal worker, who's like, I don't remember. I think it was in his house, right, or something. Anyway,
Mhm.
this a tiny little 3-inch girl, pixie, whatever, appears to him, and she was they were inspired by like the Mothra twins, so like little
Yeah,
fairy
yeah.
from Mothra, and so they're kind of doing a spoof on that, and so they dressed her up like a teenage girl that hangs out at the mall, and that's when he's like, "Why do you look like a tiny teenage mall tramp?" And
Whoa,
she,
whoa.
as she's like explaining, "Oh, I'm from an advanced race of beings from outer space. We sent Zarkorr as a test of humanity."
We love the
And
80s.
yeah, I gotta love the 80s. Very well, very 80s feel. But and what was his name? And he's picked because he is the average Joe. Um, kind of like an idiocracy, how that guy is chosen because he's like the average dude. I feel like
Oh,
that
just
might
like
be like,
Westworld.
is that like a Job reference or something that they're trying to make there? My I
The
haven't
average Job.
the average Job, yeah.
No, because Job was like exceptional.
Oh, okay.
That's why him suffering was all like, oh, well, why does he have to suffer kind of thing, you know?
Okay,
The good guy.
that makes
Yeah.
sense. And so what was I saying?
I love the
Uh,
giant pencil.
Oh, that he's like right in the middle of the line. Like he's not top 50, he's not bottom 50. He's just like right in the middle. He's like perfectly average
Yeah.
postman.
yeah, that's right. And he's a postman. They make a lot of jokes about him going postal, basically.
Yeah.
And the uh the little fairy girl. So she tells him, "Okay, I'm being projected directly into your brain," and he says, and she says, "All right, now take down a pencil and write
Yeah, I'm
this stuff
confused by
down."
this.
And he's like, "Why don't I just like do an audio recording?" She says, "Because I'm being beamed directly into your brain." It's like, "Oh yeah," but I loved when she's like explaining, "Okay, Zarkorr is impervious to all weapons. Was it bombs, nuclear bombs, guns, slingshots, sharp sticks, poison gas, swords." She says swords. The sharp sticks. When she said that, though, that always gets a laugh out of me. So I
Yeah,
think
but
that
in
was
the
my favorite
beginning, when
line.
I was listening to it, I don't know, my audio was bad. I thought the guys were pointing to the hill and going, "Aliens." I was like, "What's an alien?"
And I like that. What was it? So they're like, there's a point at which someone's driving and they like mention like, "Oh, it's a 160-foot tall monster or a 180-foot tall monster." I think it was 180. Yeah, 180-foot tall monster, and they just say like its exact height. It's like, oh, that's random, but okay. Thank you for letting me know exactly how tall it is.
Like reading stats from the character sheet, you know?
Yeah, they wanted to make it so they made Zarkorr a little bit taller than the original well, the Showa Godzilla from the earlier Godzilla movies. Still smaller than the 1980s Godzilla, though.
So it's a little bit of a flex.
Yeah, a little bit of a flex. And wait, do I have that right? Yeah, no, I definitely have that right because the 1980s Godzilla, he's more like 300 feet tall. But anyway,
I don't know.
yeah. And
Dude,
so,
I'm sorry.
oh no, but yeah, she tells him that he's the only person that can defeat Zarkorr, and Zarkorr contains the key to his own destruction. And basically, that's it. And then she disappears, and then the
Then she comes back, though, after she disappears.
oh yeah,
Oh, one more thing.
yeah. One more thing.
Dude, so when you're introduced to Arthur, you know, like it starts out like, oh, this guy's kind of weird. And then like
Oh, the
The
hacker.
more he talks, yes, Arthur the hacker.
Oh
He
yeah.
was
Oh
my
yeah,
favorite character, dude.
Oh, I
He was
could.
like
I
so
call him that so
antagonistic to
frequently.
everybody.
He was the character I disliked the most. Oh man, he did have some. He did have a couple of good lines that were funny.
He reminds me of
He's
the
like,
non-self vigilante from Peacemaker.
"You two together? No. Are you two together? No.
Are
Are
you two
you?"
together? Referred to the two guys that time. Yeah, that I got a kick out of. So at some point, um, so Tommy, who's the main character, he's a postal worker. He decides, okay, what am I supposed to do? He sees the cryptozoologist on the news and decides, okay, I know what I got to do. I got to kidnap this cryptozoologist lady.
It's the only way.
I mean, no,
Commit a
obviously.
felony, you know.
So he goes to the studio there and tries to kidnap her. The
Bro.
head security guard um ends up believing his story and like
No, but look, when he snuck in was the most obvious thing ever because the dude walks out and he just strolls right in.
oh, that's how the France lost the crown jewels, right? Something like that. No, it was a little bit more
Yeah,
complicated.
right.
Yeah, well, there was some dramatic tension between, the two security people who were also friends.
Oh yeah, yeah,
Don't
but
make me do this thing.
and yeah, the one that ends up so while he's trying to kidnap the lady, yeah, you got the two
He's got
security
like in a
guards there.
bathroom, doesn't he? Like in a bathroom.
Yeah, that's what it looked like, and
It
but
totally was.
Imagine
you got the one security guard who's listening to Tommy tell his story, and he's like, "No, it makes sense. He makes sense because the aliens, the UFOs, and all this stuff." It's like makes me think like, "Oh, we all have this one relative.
Right.
That'd be this guy." And so he's like, "Yeah, all right." Um, this is the guy that would show up at the pizza joint looking for the basement that doesn't exist, and so he says, "I believe him." Ends up holding what ties up the other officer or whatever,
the
and
sink.
and
The pipe under
they
the
go
sink.
off. They go off on the next part of their adventure. They meet up with that annoying hacker dude.
No, he's not a hacker. He's a cybernaut. He made
That's
sure
what
to
Cyber.
differentiate them.
because he likes to sail through cyberspace.
Yeah.
And oh man,
And he
his
was crippled by
personality
a
was
motor
so
scooter.
obnoxious. Yeah, that's right. He was in that scooter. I think they were trying to like spoof on crap, that really smart dude, Steve Hawkins.
Mm-hmm.
Crocket. Stephen Hawking.
Stephen Hawkins. Stephen
Yeah.
Hawking, yeah. And yeah, he was really obnoxious, but also funny at points.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, he got the most laughs out of me.
And then at some point they end up dressing up like they were like FBI agents, and
Where did they get those suits?
I think the cybernaut gave them to them, maybe.
Oh.
I'm not sure. He got them on the plane and everything. I'm wondering if he gave them fake identities though, because I'm sure they're looking for the dude who just kidnapped the cryptozoologist. Probably
Mm-hmm.
looking for her too. And yeah, they dress up as agents. They go to some town and where because the hacker finds that because they figure out something else had to have happened when Zarkorr appeared, and they find that there was some sort of disturbance of some kind somewhere that happened at the same time. I think a meteor or something fell, and so they go to investigate that. They dress up as like FBI agents or whatever. They introduce themselves all as doctors, and there's
Oh yeah,
like,
I thought they're close to Yuma, Arizona.
yeah. And in the meantime, Zarkorr is destroying New Jersey.
As one does.
Yeah, as one does. I wonder why they chose New Jersey. Maybe that's just where they chose to film. Maybe it was cheap to film there, but or maybe they thought, oh, Americans would like to see New Jersey destroyed.
Well, it's because they had the least prep before, like they could just like film the streets of New Jersey and then just put Zarkorr in there. They didn't really have to do too much. It saved budget.
That's sense. All right, let's see here. And oh yeah, so they find that there's like this big shield thing that had like fallen through the roof of some building, that the townspeople point them to, and there's at one point someone's like asking them a lot of questions, and I just love the line where one of the guys that's dressed up as an agent says like, "What are you, some sort of goddamn question asker?"
Yeah, I love that line too.
Dude, some of the dialogue is just so awkward in the movie, but the way they deliver it is so sincere that it just makes it seem so much more believable,
Yeah, I think too that's why a lot of people like watched it and didn't realize that it was supposed to be a comedy. And yeah, so they bring turns out that shield thing, they bring it to Zarkorr, and he fires his laser eyes at it, and it turns Zarkorr into glitter.
Yeah.
It reflects back at Zarkorr and basically turned him into glitter, and he floats away. And then
They go back to his home planet.
I guess so. I don't know. Some reviewers were like, why did he keep shooting at the shield when it was obviously reflecting and hitting back at him? And I think the whole point is, well, Zarkorr isn't there to actually destroy everything. He's there just to, complete this, test or whatever. So he was always going to do that. And then we kind of have like so Tommy gets there's like a write-in campaign or something happening now to elect him president of the United States.
Yeah.
After defeating Zarkorr, and he's just like, yeah, sure, sounds good to me. Did that happen in Idiocracy too? Did they like decide that they were going to elect that dude president?
They were, because he found out that the plants needed water instead of Gatorade.
Yeah,
that's why he became president.
I don't remember that movie.
No,
it's been a long time.
That was a lot of fun. I wonder when Idiocracy came out. I wonder if they saw
Random guess 2011.
Yeah, I feel like earlier. 2006. So yeah, I wonder if they saw. I wonder if the creators, the writers saw Zarkorr.
Maybe.
And so that was Zarkorr. I enjoyed it. It's not a fantastic movie, but it's a fun movie.
It clocks in at 76 minutes, so you can give it a shot.
Oh yeah, it's a short film. It's an hour and 16 minutes.
Oh yeah.
A lot of full moon movies tend to be on the shorter side, and it's definitely something that, like, if you're hanging out with friends and want something funny to watch, like funny stupid for you to like maybe even poke fun of, like that's definitely one of those types of movies.
For sure. I had a lot of fun with it. I really did like it. I don't want to rate it high, but I enjoyed my time with the movie. And it knew what it was, and it wore it proudly, so it's worth a watch, if not a couple. Plus the practical effects are good and the score is good. Boom.
It's like having a drink at a bar with a friend, but you have some stuff in common, but then they kind of go off on a tangent about aliens. But you kind of sit and have a
yeah.
for 6 minutes, and you don't have to like see him again for a couple more months.
Happens to me all the time.
Kind of like that, dude.
Because I am an alien.
Oh yeah,
I
that's
was
true.
gonna say, are you the one that's ranting about the aliens?
I am. And people are like, yeah, we get it, we know.
Well, I was also going to ask you when you have your like bargain bin, is that movies from all different planets or just Earth?
All different planets.
I mean, there's got to be a whole lot of formats.
Yeah, yeah. Some of them they look like shredded paper.
Ah,
Yeah.
I was gonna say, is there any kind of David Cronenberg looking ones that look like a human kidney or a lung, and you have to attach them to yourself?
Yep, you attach one to your ear, another one to the center of your forehead, and then it
Mm.
just overrides everything. Your
Ah,
whole cerebrum. Yep.
finger in it, yeah.
You know, basic science.
Basic science. All right. Now anything else we want to say about Zarkorr?
Hmm. I think I'm good.
I didn't expect to enjoy it in the way that I did, but
Yeah,
now if I find it in the bargain bin somewhere, it's like a must get. I wouldn't spend full money on it, but I would spend money to have it physical. Because one day the internet will go out.
I remember I enjoyed it when I saw it as a kid, but I actually enjoyed it more rewatching it as an adult. I think because when rewatching it, I kind of I'm now that I know it's like a full moon production, like that it's okay. This comedy, and I think now that I'm older, I get more of the jokes too
Hmm.
than I did when I was younger.
Yeah, you would have gotten the mall tramp thing. You were old enough.
Yeah. All right. Now I'm gonna go off camera for a brief second. I'm gonna take off my eyes, and and I also
Do you
need
put
to
them in
use
like a recharger, like your head, or is that separate?
that's separate. Um,
Oh,
no, everything has to come with accessories.
seems pretty complicated.
Yeah, a little bit. Um, and I'm gonna use the little extra room. I'll be right back.
Oh, okay. So,
Have fun, be careful. Don't get lost.
so what you been watching lately? Anything? TV,
Me?
movies,
Look.
people,
The
Halloween
new
seasons?
Pokemon game.
Oh yeah, there is one.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Legends ZA. I've been playing it, I've been rocking it, I've been loving it. It's fun.
When did that come out?
I don't know, like 2 Wednesdays ago or so. Maybe
Hmm.
Thursdays. I don't know. All my days have been blurring together. I started a new job as a cashier and like everything's just blurring together.
Oh yeah, where at?
Yeah.
You want to say?
Dollar General.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So when he says we're the Dollar General bin of,
Oh
like
yeah.
hosts, he's
And
underscoring the truth of the statement.
what have you found in the Dollar General bin?
I have the first three Mega Shark movies. I've
Ah,
got Ape
all
versus
separate or
Monster.
all together in one pack?
Oh, they're all separate.
Oh, okay.
It's been quite the quest to try to collect them all because there's a fourth one out there somewhere and I can't find it. And that's the last one.
Hmm. I wonder if they have a
Yeah,
release for it.
like 2015.
Because I didn't know maybe they didn't have a release for it yet. Like some movies just kind of fall into a void for a while until they get
No,
a
because
release.
I definitely saw it on like eBay and Mercari, and
Oh,
like I've almost gotten it, but have abstained from spending money, trying to
mhm.
be a responsible adult person.
Yeah, aren't we all?
Yeah, bills are expensive, man.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
definitely.
that and I have a toddler, and I can't say no to him. So anytime he sees like a toy car he wants, I have to get it.
Oh, like kind of cars? What kind of cars?
Like he likes the heavy construction vehicles. but we mainly stay with like Hot Wheels and Matchbox because that
Yeah.
third brand, Macito, is bunk. It's not good.
Oh no,
It's
why?
dooty. They fall apart very quickly, and they don't fit on most of the Hot Wheel like track sets.
Okay.
They're too wide or too tall. They're lame, is what they are.
What was the name of them?
Masito, Masito.
Okay. Because occasionally
Yeah.
buy stuff. I work at a school and occasionally buy stuff, so I'll say, nay to that if anybody brings that up. Because we do have some Hot Wheels and some tracks at the school the kids play with.
Hot Wheels are cool, man. I was never a car kid, but my little boy, he is one. So I'm becoming a car guy.
What's your favorite one? Do you have a favorite one that your kid has? One you want to covet?
Yeah. So it looks like, like a hot rod kind of car, but then it's got a giant magic 8 ball in the center of it.
Oh, really? That's
Yeah,
cool.
it's pretty dope. And then it's actually got the little die on the inside so you can shake it and try to read it.
Well, that's
But
cool.
like
Can you see
there's
it?
no fluid, so
Oh,
it's hard to see it.
I used to have one of those, like when I was younger. Well, I think my cousin had one, and I just would shake it and ask her a bunch of questions when I was over to her house.
I still do. I love my little magic 8 ball. I always ask it the most like inconsequential questions. Inconsequential. Sorry, I'm like running off a little sleep here.
Yeah. Or you could have it take control of your life.
No,
Try to turn left
I
or right.
can't control my life. I don't need something else to do it.
Yeah. So is there anything else you find in the bin that's interesting, movie wise?
I don't know. Well, I mean, like, I've got quite a few because if I find them, because they had most of them were like 50% off. And then there's ones where I'm like, oh my God, I love that movie. One day my son's going to be old enough to watch it with me, maybe. But
Yeah.
all kinds of crazy stuff, man.
Yeah.
Trying to look.
Amy said grocery prices are expensive. Kids are expensive too. The Shadow Skull says, I'm a disabled single parent of a 7 and 10-year-old. I'm very familiar. And oh, my 7-year-old has an adventure board game where instead of rolling dice, there's a magic 8 ball. Well, that's
That
cool.
sounds so fun.
Makes me think of I think Trouble had something like that.
Yeah, Trouble had
With
like the
Papa.
dome.
Yeah, I had the little.
Let me tell you how 5-year-olds are. When they do that and it's like a 6, they'll say it's 9, and they'll like try to move it 9.
That's how you do it. That
Yeah.
line, no, that goes
I
on
couldn't
top.
disagree. I mean, I've been trying to adapt it for other board games when I like roll a 6. I'm like, oh, that's 9.
And school supplies, school clothes, expensive,
Mm-hmm.
and it's fun. Yeah, I remember I used to like popping just pressing that down on the
Oh
Trouble
yeah.
game,
Mm-hmm.
popping the dice like that. That was fun.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
We have like a trolls version of it at school.
Cool. I have
You
a
know,
little Godzilla 1984 and 85 pop vinyl here with me. Show off some Godzilla
Oh,
1985
nice.
stuff. I have a NECA figure somewhere, but I don't feel like digging through my boxes right now because I'm trying to clean things up, not make a bigger mess.
Yeah.
I have a stuffed Godzilla, but I don't think he's anything in particular.
And
But
then,
he's cute.
let's
Well,
see.
I have a Godzilla's.
Then
I
I
don't
got
think. Let me have a thought. Maybe I
I
have a
got a
lost thought.
Godzilla T-shirt with the 1985 Godzilla on it. Oh, there's his face. It's kind of blocking it. The shirt is very holy at this point.
Oh,
Literally, it's a lot of holes. Old shirt.
But
I forgot
beloved.
to change into my Godzilla shirt. Now I feel kind of ashamed. I had every intention to.
Brr. It's cold in my house. I'm wearing 2 hoodies tonight. And
Have the goats to keep me warm.
oh,
Come here,
and
goat.
people tend to like unboxings. I got
Oh.
the Godzilla card game. My brother got the Heisei deck, and I got the Godzilla -1 deck. This one seemed a little bit more straightforward. The other one seemed a little bit more complicated. I figure we'll do better with that one because I tend to stink at these types of games, but I enjoy them anyway.
Maybe it'll become the new Magic the Gathering.
I doubt it, but that'd be fun.
That'd be tight.
I went to the comic book store yesterday, and I was looking around to see what they had for Godzilla stuff. They didn't have as many graphic novels as I hoped. I only saw one of the graphic novels. I think it was Protectors of Earth or Rulers of Earth, and but it was like number 3, and I don't have the first 2, so some way to open this. Using my teeth. Yeah, so I guess we can start talking about Godzilla 1985 while I try and fail to open this thing.
Hey, Scarlet says she'll be right back in the
okay.
chat.
All right. So then we'll just wait 1 second on the Scarlet.
Yeah, a little intermission. How's everybody doing? I hope things are going well for all of our chat. This is a great community, a great family.
Oh, we got more chat here. Amy's daughter got gifted a Frozen movie.
That's cool.
Order she blows the flute playing. The DVD eventually stopped working. Oh, she played it too much.
That's not cool.
That's not cool. Shadow Skull homeschools through state program. State funding for school supplies, board games. There was one that was. Oh yeah, you mentioned there was black mold in one of the schools. That's a little scary.
Yeah.
And Shadow Skull points out that it's not really a surprise. The school systems are everywhere in the U.S. right now are pretty bad. And there in Idaho, the school systems there are beyond awful. My kids are ahead intellectually and hypertext.
Oh wow, I can zoom in a little bit and actually see stuff now. That's
Oh,
cool.
and Amy saw some Godzilla X Surprise Z-Wave toys. They're adorable. Do you mean Ninja Turtles? So I know we were looking at those. Was it last night? Oh, Shadow Sculpt's kids are hyperlexic. That makes sense. That's kind of terrifying, and it's horror movie fuel.
Yeah.
I think there has been a movie about killer black mold or killer mold. Well, besides, oh yeah, we have the Last of Us is basically about killer mold that turns you into a zombie.
Yeah.
I was very disappointed by the Last of Us show. All right, I'm destroying this box in the process trying to use it. I'll be right back.
Well, at least y'all have one person here that don't go.
Back. All right, I think this will be sharp enough. All right. So let's give a quick synopsis of Godzilla 1985. So it starts off, we're in the ocean, and right, I think, and there's a ship adrift. And this scene always creeped me out as a kid because oh no, it starts off with the an explosion on the island, right? And then the ship
Yeah, I think
adrift.
so. Dude, I
And
watched it just a couple hours ago.
and the there's let's see, so ship explosion, ship adrift, and then there's a reporter on a boat, and he's sailing towards the ship, and you hear a report that's talking about that particular ship being like missing or something like that, or lost at sea, and then he boards the ship, and he gets attacked by a giant sea louse, which I guess are like
Yes.
those are those like the like sand crabs that like you can catch if you like put your hand under like the sand and like let the wave like crash into it, like
I
at the
think they're
beach.
a little bit different. I think they're kind of like how we have lice, but I thought they were like mites, but on whales. I could be absolutely wrong, but I don't know. Sea louse. I'll look it up. Let's see what
Sounds
we can
horrible.
find out.
Sea
Oh,
louse.
Godzilla surprise ball wave 2.
Oh, well, you should
Oh,
get one and do an unwrapping with us.
I did. I'm yeah, I should. Or um, I did I got a crystal one a while back. They were in like these like crystal things instead of balls. Yeah, that sea louse was wicked creepy. So
Yeah.
I think in the description they were saying it was oh no, in the film they think it was feeding off Godzilla, and that's how it got to be so huge.
So Wikipedia says they are like sea lice. So I wasn't far off.
Okay.
That's a big lice, man. I would hate that in my hair.
Yeah,
Which,
that
by the
was
way, when he throws that thing off of him and he acts like it just weighs so much, like either he's weak or that sea louse is like kind of jacked. Because when have you ever seen something like a
it.
bug like that?
It's got to be heavy. Up and hold on, I gotta take care of my cat real quick because she's gonna knock everything down. Come here. Now she knows. And she's gonna jump up here and knock down the dollhouse. So I've got my phone perched in a dollhouse that I picked up off the sidewalk to use for my gremlins. At some point, we had intended at some point we'll probably repaint this thing and we'll use it for photography with the gremlins, or at least like putting them on display. But yeah, I got this big Barbie dollhouse. It's got like some kid like clearly like drew all over it and stuff. And I accidentally discovered that that there were batteries in it and it makes music earlier because I
Oh,
propped my
that's,
phone right on the little button for the music apparently.
what kind of music does it play?
Hopefully like I don't, it was just like really like dun 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 dun, dun, really really simple, like really simple beats.
Yeah.
And it'd be I thought it'd be great to use maybe on a stream if it wasn't for the fact that I don't know if it's copyrighted and I'll get a copy
Yeah.
strike for it. But yeah, that scene last creeped me out. Apparently, they had to like cut some of those scenes out of the British version to
Mm.
release it in theaters, but not on tape. On tape, it got a free pass because
There's a lot of like fluids and stuff like that, like white fluidy kind of crawls through. It's kind of gross as well.
yeah.
A lot of visceral stuff in that boat.
So I'm showing off the Godzilla card game deck that I just got. I'm just gonna keep showing the cards while we talk. I guess these are like energy or something. I don't know. These are rage cards.
Ah.
Give Godzilla rage. I don't think it takes much to give Godzilla the rage.
after this movie, I mean, like he constantly was in a rage because they just kept shooting him for no good reason.
That's how he sees it anyway. No good reason.
Yeah.
That's a little -1.
One thing I really want to mention about this movie is that this also has the character of Goromaki.
Yes, that's right. The reporter is also named Goromaki, and so yeah, he ends up rescuing a dude on the boat. He finds like a lone survivor, and turns out everyone on the boat's been eaten by that louse, or I guess.
Ugh. Ugh.
Yeah, it was a weird scene.
And then
'Cause, like
there's
everyone else was all mummified.
that's right. That was so gross. That creeped me out so bad as a kid. And then there's like the scene that the reporter has Kenny or Hiroshi, depending on the version of the film that you watch. The 1985 version calls him Kenny. Originally, he was named Hiroshi. And but yeah, he's got Kenny there on the boat, and I guess he's calling it in or whatever. And I realized though that might have been that version of Goromaki might have been one of my what do they call it? Gay origin stories. Because he's over there shirtless on the boat, and I'm rewatching the movie. I'm like, actually, he's kind of good looking.
Yeah. Yeah, I get it. Like every time I watch The Hunger, I get
it. Oh yeah, that's a great movie. Oh wait, I'm thinking of a different one.
Kind of like my Vi origin story.
I don't remember if I've seen The Hunger actually. I'm gonna have to look it up later.
Yeah, that did a lot for me as a little goth growing up. It's like
A lot of
sexual
these stuff are
orientation, all that. That's all achieved in that movie.
Yeah, that was Shiva and Kim Possible for me.
Ah.
The Ronin Warriors. I remember when I was really young, I kind of had a crush on James Bond Jr. And what's his name? Rick from Puppet Master 4 and 5.
I haven't quite gotten to those.
Rick was not a puppet. He was a puppet master.
Oh.
I skipped a bunch of the duplicates, but there's some fun shots. This one's all Godzilla -1 focus. The cards here, and all right. Let's see what happens next in the movie. So what they bring Kenny back, right? And I don't know. He can't tell. So Goromaki decides, or somehow, he goes to publish his story. He can't publish it because they won't let him. The editor said, "Nope, we're not allowed to publish any stories about this incident because everything's hush hush about this." Because they,
Yeah, it's like an international security.
yeah, because the survivor says that he saw Godzilla come out of the volcano or mountain there. And so that ticks him off, and he goes to research further. He finds this professor scientist dude who studies Godzilla, and turns out that Kenny's younger sister is his lab assistant or whatnot. And
Who would have thought?
who would have thought? What a coincidence!
Yep.
And I feel like he did that on purpose. That was probably why he sought out that one particular doctor.
Yeah, he's
But
just looking at the photo. He's like, ah.
Ooh, a sister.
and then he finds out that she doesn't know that he's alive, and he's not supposed to tell her. And then he takes her on like kind of like a like almost like he says he wants to ask her questions, and takes her on almost like a date, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like
Yeah.
with
Yeah,
her.
they're walking the road. It's all very romantic.
Up here she comes. You can knock things down.
He disappeareth. Is it a cat issue?
That's what I'm hoping for.
Let's see.
Like
Trying to
Doc
do
will
some
take us over
hamster.
All right, there you go. Yeah, no, my cat likes to
with our
play.
cat overlords.
My cat likes to play Godzilla and go and knock everything over, especially if she wants something. And I'm pretty sure that she probably wants kibble right now, but she'll get it soon enough. She's not going to die.
You know, you could film a Catzilla with your dollhouse and just hold the cat up.
Yes.
And then have lasers shoot out of its eyes, of course.
When I was a kid, I had these like kids books, Dogzilla and Cat Kong.
Oh.
I remember those.
They were fun. They were really cute.
Yeah, you should get those, Scarlet.
Oh
Like,
yeah,
Like perfect picture book for kids.
Oh yeah. Yeah, I've already put some subversive things into our library.
Oh man, everyone I know with kids, I tend to get them a Godzilla something. Like, oh, you don't have a Godzilla in your house? Oh, you need a Godzilla toy for your kids.
My son has stolen all of my Godzilla toys. I'm not
That's like
mad about it.
it's like Amy with her gremlins.
He calls them Galiza.
Galiza. God
Yeah.
lizard.
I'm going to sleep with this one. Little stuffed animal.
Aw. Huh. All right. So what happens next? I don't know. At some point they did some cut-ins with Raymond Burr, right? And I mean we don't have to summarize
Yeah,
the
they
whole
showed
thing.
his eyes for like what seemed to be a millennia. His close up on his beautiful greenish striking eyes. And then he looks at a jade dragon and then it just cuts.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
They did the whole like Avengers 2 getting Hawkeye out of retirement thing with him.
Yeah.
yeah, he had like his grandson was playing with like this like Godzilla Lego thing,
I
which I
got
think
kind of
was
confused
dope.
with that because I thought I was watching a Godzilla like commercial for the toys, and I was like, "Where's this going?"
probably it. You know, you'd think it would be to advertise toys if that toy actually existed, because I don't think that toy actually did exist. I feel like I would have seen it or owned
Yeah,
it.
yeah.
I thought it was majorly creative.
Yeah. Although I don't think that Steve Martin would be letting his kid play with anything shaped like Godzilla after going through what he went through.
That's what you'd think.
Or
But
like,
as a kid, you don't think of that. I know at the time the only Godzilla figure that so they came out with Godzilla toys like with that movie, but it was the Imperial line. They don't really look anything like the character in that movie. If you've seen the Imperial line, I used to have a couple of the figures around, but I gave them away to people who had kids. Because I figured, you know, they're collecting dust on my shelf. You know, give it to someone who's going to actually enjoy it.
mm-hmm.
So I've got enough random tchotchke. Doesn't stop me from getting more.
Mm-hmm.
You know, just clear space for more. And but yeah, I kind of like I really liked those scenes. Although the his the whole he had no point in the movie though. Steve Martin, like after Godzilla destroys a Russian submarine and the Russians blame it on America, um, Steve Martin gets brought in, and they're like, okay, so it's Godzilla. We're going to be announcing to the world or whatever, and we need you as an expert since you survived Godzilla's first attack in 1954. And in this movie, the American version and the Japanese version I heard are slightly different. That Japanese version makes it kind of a little bit more obscure whether or not this is a new Godzilla or the same Godzilla. But the American version just basically makes like assumes that he is the original Godzilla that appeared, and we know like from later films that like primarily King Kong versus not King Kong, Godzilla versus King Ghidorah. that this Godzilla is a new Godzilla. He comes from um, crap. What's the name of that island in the Bering Sea? No, he gets irradiated in Bering Sea, but he's from Lagos Island, and then we also have eventually a third Godzilla from, I think it was called Adonoa Island, Adonoa, and that's where Junior's egg comes from. But yeah, they don't really explain that until what, like 2 films later, where they kind of retcon the fact that he was, I guess, originally intended, or maybe the original Godzilla.
Yeah, even though the original was like literally only bones at the end. He regenerated pretty well though.
Right? Yeah.
Back bigger and better.
And
more sleepy looking.
but yeah, so Raymond Burr was literally just like brought in to be a name and a tie-in to the original Godzilla movie, but he ended up saving the movie from being completely goofy, or at least the American version. And you can see that they still wanted some of those like goofy, cheesy characteristics, and they kept them in the form of that redhead in the military, the young dude that had all the silly lines.
Yeah, bad Southern accent.
Yeah, and it was like he and the other people in the military kept putting him in his place because he'd like make these dumb comments, and then they'd be like, "Oh yeah, but this," and you just basically have to shut him up. He was cute though, attractive actor. His acting skills were, and they were okay. They filmed those scenes pretty quickly. Um, Raymond Burr was only on set for I think it was like 8 hours, and I think that was actually part of the requirements. He only wanted to be on the set for a short period of time.
I wonder how many of those hours were him standing still looking straight toward the camera.
7 of those hours.
Yeah.
I looked it up. It's official. No, I'm kidding.
Yeah, you're right. It's only 6.5.
But I loved the scenes that he was in. Like for some reason, this movie doesn't feel the same without him in it. I think primarily because of the ending monologue. He has this monologue at the end after they defeat Godzilla. I'm kind of jumping ahead a little bit, but supposedly he wrote it himself, and it's one of my favorite parts of the movie. Like my favorite lines in the movie are at the end, that ending monologue. And if he wrote it himself, that's pretty awesome. That's kind of impressive.
Yeah, I didn't know that.
I feel like I'm missing the booster pack that's supposed to come with us. Oh, I see it. Okay. But all right. So they have this. So they show off. Japan shows off. They got this weapon called the Super X that they want to use on Godzilla. Oh, hold on. That's right. So America and Russia, they want to nuke Godzilla. They want to nuke him.
Of course.
Yep. So there was like all this Cold War tension during the time they made the film, and so in the American version, they make Russia out to be like the absolute bad guys, pretty much of the film, and they make them a lot more trigger happy and so on, and so eventually, in the Russians do end up launching a nuke at Japan. In the Japanese version, it's on accident, and there's like a scene, and there's a scene where there's a guy going to try to stop the accidental launch of the nuke. And in the American version, sorry, I got a hair hanging from this. In the American version, they dubbed it or subtitled it or whatever, so that he's actually trying to launch the nuke in like a fit of madness, I guess. And yeah, so they made some changes.
I wasn't quite clear on that.
What'd you say?
I said I wasn't quite clear on his like motivations for that, but like that was his dying action was pushing the button.
Yeah, I thought that was weird when I was a kid and watching it too. I was like, I didn't really understand why he was pressing the button and launching the missile. But as an adult, I can see where they're going with it. But as a kid, I didn't get it. And I feel like even as an adult, it kind of requires like a little bit of like explanation, like mental gymnastics. I got the booster pack now.
Sweet. I was wondering if it came with boosters.
Yeah, it comes with one booster pack. There's only 7 cards in the booster, though. It's kind of disappointing. You know what? Whatever. I'm just doing it this way. I'm going to be buying more booster packs anyway, so I don't need to like keep it all super nice.
I need to figure out where I can. I really do. It'd be so cool for us to have a match one day and then me like completely blow you away.
Oh yeah, I tend to think of these kinds of games, so you'll be kicking my butt. But yeah, we could probably figure out. We could probably play just like over cam.
Yeah. We
They
could do
have
like an overhead top.
They have tournaments at the local comic book store on Wednesdays. All right, so here's my cards. First card, Orga. Nice.
I used to get Orga and the Super X mixed up as a kid.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, like I always conflated 1984 or 85 with 2000 and like only watched 2000 because I thought that it was like a remake.
Oh. I got a show of
That was like,
Godzilla, 1975.
that's cool.
And so I guess the red cards can only be used by the red deck. The blue cards can only be used by the blue deck, but there are cards that can be used by both. And so I'm gonna have to trade my blue cards to my brother, I think, unless I get a blue deck. Another this one's 1974 Godzilla. Mega Gearus.
Sweet.
That's a hidden gem of a Godzilla movie. I didn't care for it when I first watched it, but upon rewatching it, that's actually a really fun Godzilla movie. And also kind of a little
It
bit
is.
scary. It's got some horror qualities to it. Yes. Mothra.
Sweet.
Shiny? Oh, it's kind of shiny too. It's a little holofoilish. And then, oh, holy, yes. My favorite Godzilla movie. I get a Rage Cards Godzilla vs. Biollante. It's not holofoil or anything though. Oh, darn. Oh, because my holofoil is stuck to the back of Mothra. I was like, don't I get one more card? What is it? It's Destroy All Monsters. Maybe it's not a holofoil. Maybe it's a holofoil. The lighting over here isn't very good. Like
Does it destroy all monsters on the field?
I don't know. When your monster card invades this turn, destroy one of your opponent's battle cards. Okay. It's a strategy card.
Cool. I bet you if I knew more about the game, that would mean something to me.
Right? Yeah, I don't really know a whole lot about the game yet. I gave my brother his deck earlier this evening, and I was like, I won't have time to figure out how to play until tomorrow. All right, so my brother actually, so I didn't get like a real holofoil. I don't think the Mothra one counts. Oh no, maybe I guess those two count because the others aren't shiny. But my brother got like this like really cool Mothra Rage card, and it was like the Godzilla versus Mothra poster, but had like I think it had like gold trim to it or something. It was really pretty. Now I need more booster packs.
That's all they get.
Yep. We got the new series hitting the comic book store next week. They're gonna have Mecha Godzilla in it and stuff, they said. So I gotta learn how to play this.
We're gonna have to become pen pals, and I'll like send you money for it or something if I
You
can't
know them
find
on
it
eBay.
physically.
Oh, they're cheaper on eBay. I wanted to get some karma with that store by giving them the money. And also it's better to
Yeah.
give people smaller
Yeah.
businesses. They kind of have, overhead and stuff they have to worry about and everything. Oh yeah, we were talking about Godzilla 1985 at one point.
Yeah.
Hey, Big Chungus is here.
What's up,
And
Big
Trey says he wants to
Chungus?
revisit the film. Oh, the chat. See, it didn't move and show me that more people were talking. I had to look down at my phone. Is there a way to lighten up the card? I suppose if I use like my phone is it's a light, I probably can. I need to like move everything so that I get better lighting. This is kind of a temporary spot for me right now.
Same.
Here's the Mothra card. I don't know if that helps. Um, the shiny one behind it. Strategy card. I think it's like the Destroy All Monster cover, basically, almost. I think they use that as a cover for some of them, for some of the versions. Oh no, not that one. They're fighting King Ghidorah. It's got a whole bunch of the Showa monsters fighting King Ghidorah. Fun fact about that movie is the last in the continuity for the Showa era because it takes place in the future at the time that its release. It takes place
I
in
was gonna say it takes
1999.
place in the future, but it takes place in the past.
Yeah, but that's true.
Yeah, because I think it was like 2000 XX or something like that.
1999.
Oh yeah,
And
that's so funny.
they thought we'd have like a base on the moon and all this advanced technology and stuff.
Well, we do.
Let's see. Oh, Amy thought it was a Dragon Ball remix item. Shadow Skull couldn't look for it. I think I went too far and went in the wrong direction, maybe. Oh no. Okay, so the sea lice are parasitic crustaceans. That makes sense.
Yeah, it
Yeah.
kind of looked like that in the body. Yeah.
Item. And Shadow Skull says, if I'm remembering correctly, I took marine biology for my biology credit in high school. That was 22 years ago. Oh, Amy's cat will knock something down, then run to try to get you to play. Yeah, my cat does stuff like that. Like I had like these setups with like the gremlins and like little tables and stuff set up and to look like they were like making potions and things. And yeah, my cat knocked over all of that. I can't have anything nice.
Classic cat behavior.
Amy loves Mothra. Okay, so yeah, fish. Sea lice tend to be small. You can find them attached to fish.
Yeah.
It's giant. Wait, what? There's a movie about giant isopods in a river. Oh, I feel like I've wanted to see that. That sounds familiar. Fred, was it called The Lake or something like that? No, I think that's a different one.
I think I know what you're
Shadow
talking
Skulk.
about.
Shadow Skulk remembers Rick from Puppet Master. Yep, it was called The Bay. That's right. I haven't seen it. I've been meaning to see it, so maybe I should check it out. I think I heard it was okay. Critter, your background looks like you're in the movie Avatar.
Yeah, it feels like I am. My back is getting stiff. I need a better setup where I can like lean back instead of having to sit.
Godzilla Cat Bowl. I could do that. Oh my gosh, I'm like 20 minutes behind in the conversation.
Yep.
Trey says, I have to revisit this movie. And then Big Chungus says, what's up, everyone? All right, now I'm caught up in the chat.
Time for us to get behind again.
And so I guess just to summarize the rest of the movie, really quick, they discover oh yeah, so they had like a scene with like this. I think he was a Japanese comedian in it, where like he's like basically
Oh yeah.
looting all the food at a buffet in
Uh-huh.
like this hotel or something like
That
that
was
as
my favorite
Godzilla.
parts.
That
Yeah,
was
me
one of my
too.
favorite parts as a kid too.
I looked at that and I was like, that's me.
And I'm thinking too, he's got like a bottle of like wine or sake or something there, and I'm thinking, that was probably already open on someone's table, so technically they can't really take that back anyway. At least not here in the U.S. with our food laws. So
Mhm.
like, it's fair game. They had to
Right. I
run
mean,
out
he
of
didn't
the
steal
restaurant.
anything.
It was all going to go to waste. But I didn't like I remember, but the line of what was it? What are you looking at? Oh no, who do you think you are? Something like that when he says to Godzilla. That
Yeah, like
that kind of
talking
bothered me
down
as a
to him.
kid. Yeah, that kind of bothered me. I was like, all right, that's just like pushing it a little too far, like how obnoxious his behavior is. There is a difference between the American version and the Japanese version, though, as to what happens with him. In the American version,
Oh.
it's implied he gets stepped on by Godzilla, but in the Japanese version, he basically gets knocked out. They show him afterwards.
Good to know that he lived, I guess.
Yeah, well, I guess whether or not he lived, it's like he's like Schrodinger's comic.
Yeah.
Yes. Oh man, the Puppet Master franchise is one of my favorite horror franchises. It probably is my favorite horror franchise. Um, I've got I think I've shown off my blade before. I've got blade. I've got a smaller blade somewhere. I think he's packed away. I've got small 6-shooter, tunneler, torch, pinhead. I think I have two versions of pinhead. Um, I think one might still be in the box. Um, and I never got Leech Woman. Oh, and I have Jester. And I never got the little demon guy. I always wanted them so badly. What do they call them? Totems or something? I can't remember. Um,
Mm-hmm.
they're cool and creepy looking. I need to. I think that they're still like relatively affordable, like expensive but affordable at the same time. So I can probably find them on eBay. They made like a lot of versions of them.
That's like part of my 2011 era. It's been a minute.
Yeah. Let me open up my notes here and see if I missed anything up to this point. But yeah, that that comic that was a good scene. Um, they have the main cast trying to get out of a building that's been partially destroyed. That I really enjoyed as a kid too, because you hadn't seen that really, I don't think, in a previous giant monster movie where people are trying to escape a building that's been damaged by the
Mm-hmm.
giant monster's attack, and it's kind of a little bit terrifying. And I'm afraid of heights, and they had to like go down from like one floor to another using a fire hose, and that terrified me as a kid.
I let out an audible chuckle when he was like, "Hey, grab my hose."
And, oh, so Shinji Higuchi was actually an uncredited special effects assistant in this film,
Uh,
and folks might remember him from Shin Godzilla. He was the main special effects director for Shin Godzilla, and I think in general he was one of the main directors. Him and
Nano.
Ano, yeah. Oh, so something I loved about this movie is, well, actually, no, I'll get to that a little bit later. Um, years. Okay, so all right, so the scientists figure out that Godzilla's that he follows basically he's defeated by the sound of a flock of seagulls.
The band.
Yeah, it's the 80s, so it makes sense. Hey, so what did a flock of seagulls do when they saw Godzilla?
They ran. They
Yep,
ran
they
so
ran.
far
They ran
away.
so far away.
They couldn't get away.
No. So there. So yeah, the Godzilla gets defeated basically by the sound of birds. They find that Godzilla's been following birds. He's attracted to the sound of birds.
Those
He
birds.
basically he loves
That's
birds.
bird brain.
He's got bird brain because he's a dinosaur, and
Oh yeah, because they're like relatives. Okay, I get it.
yep, because they're like relatives. So apparently he's been following birds and also following where he thinks there's radiation and going eating from the nuclear reactors. So this version of
Mhm.
Godzilla is when they like introduce kind of like the reptar behavior, where he's going finding nuclear reactors and he's feeding off of them. He's feeding off of nuclear energy, and so that's where reptar gets that from, and from the '80s Godzilla. They didn't really have that in the Showa era, I don't think.
No, not really.
And they brought back the Maser tanks for Godzilla 1985. These were called. They had a different name in this. I wrote it down here. But so the Maser tanks basically like laser tanks. Those are the tanks that shoot out lasers. And I loved in this version that they had like these red beams. They worked perfectly with Godzilla's blue atomic breath. And okay, they were called hyper laser cannons in this film. And I thought the red beam it contrasted the blue atomic breath like perfectly. And they were still doing like giving the atomic breath kind of like a wave shape to it. And so it was like this like and it was textured with like light, like lasers almost. So it was like a laser wave breath. It was very 80s and kind of cool. I really enjoyed it. There was even a scene too where it showed them, I think, like burning like people. Hi, Neo Rider. Welcome.
Welcome.
I think you were here last time, and it was under a different name, if I remember right. Rider Gamer. For some reason, it's put all of our names as like our usernames rather than the names we select. I don't know how to fix that. But oh well. But hi, welcome. We're in the spoiler section for Godzilla 1985. Oh, okay, yeah, the spoiler warning is still there. Good. Okay, I'm correct. Yay. Yeah, so we watched Godzilla 1985. We're discussing that now. And so we discussed how Godzilla was defeated by the 80s rock band Flock of
Flock of
Seagulls.
seagulls. Yes.
And when they saw him, they ran so far away.
Right. Yes. They ran both night and day.
Yep, they couldn't get away. And has Steve Martin in it, cracking a lot of
Yes.
jokes. No, not the comedian. It's got Raymond Burr playing a character named Steve Martin.
Steve Martin plays Raymond Bird at Raymond Burr as Steve Martin.
Yep, and we discussed a movie called Zarkorr, the Invader, which starred Mark Hamilton, and the voice of the T-Rex of Jurassic Park.
That's a cameo.
Yeah, yeah. Probably unlicensed. Let's see what else I got here. All right. Well, what do you folks got before I start getting into some trivia about the film? Oh yeah, so they lure got that's right. They send in the Super X. I'm almost forgetting the Super X. This is the first of the Super X attack planes. It was built to defend the Capitol, and they load up this Super X with cadmium missiles. And apparently, cadmium is like a coagulant for what do you call it, for nuclear reactors, or can be used in that way. And so it's kind of like a nod to like Shin Godzilla. Well, Shin Godzilla kind of like takes from that a little bit, with how they do things in that film. But as we know, the cadmium missiles don't keep Godzilla down for very long. There's the nuclear missile that got shot off accidentally by Russia, or intentionally in this version by Russia, gets shot down by the Americans. Yay! We saved
Yay!
the
Number one.
Woo!
day for the heroes. But it creates some sort of like nuclear storm that creates electricity that only hits Godzilla. Lightning that only hits
Yeah,
Godzilla.
we get the first instance of supercharged Godzilla.
Yeah. And then he wakes up. He lays an atomic part that destroys Super X. No, I'm kidding. But Super X, for some reason, has to like go down. I guess like they've taken on too much damage, or there's too much interference from that radiation or something. I'm not sure. And then eventually they lure Godzilla into a volcano using the sound of birds, and then Perry Mason gives a monologue about Godzilla and the threat
Oh,
of
we all learned something.
nuclear destruction. Yep, and we all learned something. And then in America, we get this like really somber soundtrack, makes us really sad. Oh man, so here's another piece of trivia. So at the end, when Godzilla's falling into the volcano, in Godzilla 1985, he releases like this like piercing screaming sound. It's almost like this heartbreaking wail. Like, oh man.
Oh,
The original Japanese version did not have that in it. They used a different sound effect there. However, it's not a sound effect that was created by New World Pictures. That was actually created as so when they make and release movies, they like make like different tracks, like a stereo track and a mono track, and or some different things. But anyway, it was on the mono track for version of the film. Or something like that. It was on an alternate track for the film, and because when they hand off everything to New World Cinema or New World Pictures, they cut and splice everything as part of like their editing process, and they used that sound effect for the end there, and I think that was the right choice.
I do too. When he's falling in there and then you hear that high pitched shriek, it just like it gets you, man. I wanted to cry, but I'd already cried because of Monsters Inc.
Okay. Ryder says that they watched the Japanese version. Does the American version have some extra footages? Oh yeah, so the American version has a lot of extra footage with Americans. They this is a direct sequel to Godzilla King of the Monsters from 1956, which is the Americanized version of Gojira. And so it's got the actor that played the reporter in that movie, who was named Steve Martin, was played by Raymond Burr. They brought him back for this film, and they also recorded like all these scenes like with like the US military, like people like strategizing and talking about Godzilla. Kind of like pointless add-on fluff. A little bit. I think they mainly did it to advertise Dr. Pepper and put in Dr. Pepper product placement.
Yeah, that one redhead.
Yeah.
Dr. Pepper.
But they also wanted to be able to tie it to the first Godzilla movie for the American audience using a character that they would recognize. And Raymond Burr was also popular at the time because of Perry Mason, and I know he did other stuff, but that's like the one that really sticks in my.
That's pretty much fair. Inside.
Yeah, and so yeah, there's extra content a little bit, but they also did remove stuff. They removed primarily stuff that made the Russians look better. um, or changed stuff to make the Russians look worse, I should say. Um, they removed a scene where the prime minister is really weighing or considering whether or not he's okay with the U.S. or Russia using nuclear weapons on Godzilla. And they removed a scene where the reporter Goromaki is being like a creeper and taking photos of the girl and her brother and stuff, because in the Japanese version, like it's not, I guess it's like not super clear whether or not he's really into the girl or whether or not he's using her for the story. And in the American version, they just like they cut that out, and he's basically just like a much nicer guy and a bit more altruistic, or at least a bit more pistol whipped by her. But those are the main differences from what I remember. They cut out scenes in the American version. They cut out scenes where they thought Godzilla looked a little bit goofy. So areas where the suitmation wasn't fantastic. For this movie, they made a like this like giant animatronic Godzilla, um, this big Godzilla robot, and they used that for some of the scenes, but they ended up cutting almost all of them and only used like close-up shots. And I feel like that's like the sad curse of animatronics in Godzilla movies, because they tried using
Yeah.
an animatronic in Shin Godzilla. They completely ditched all of that. They didn't. I don't think they kept any of it. They went completely CGI, and yeah, it's a little disappointing for the poor thing, for the animatronics. A huge waste of funds, because like they have small budgets for these movies, so it's like really like painful when I hear that like something like that didn't pan out. Apparently it was a fantastic promotional tool for the movie though, so it might have made some of its money back just in that. Apparently when they were advertising it too, they, I guess, take it around or something like that. They used a small amount of footage of stock footage in this movie from a movie called Prophecy of Nostradamus. I think that was also a Toho film. Um, yeah, they do have eventually in the timeline they have two other Super X's. We get a Super X2 in Godzilla vs. Biollante, and a Super X3 in Godzilla vs. Destroya.
And then Orca looks like a Super X
Yeah, and
in the
Orga does kind
beginning.
of look like a Super X in the beginning. I agree. Maybe, yeah, it probably took some inspiration.
Well, yeah, that was the beginning of that little continuity or whatever. Not exactly continuity, but
And I got through all my notes.
woo!
Yeah, so I really love this movie. It isn't like a movie that I haven't been able to rewatch it often. It was difficult to find the film. Um, and but I I really enjoy this version of the movie. There's something about this version of the movie that just hits better than the original Japanese one. I think probably because I was raised on it. It's probably the only reason why. Because uh, I there are a lot of mixed reviews from people online about this movie. Some people get really upset about some of the changes that were made, especially some of the jingoistic ones, where they were kind of like they made changes to make the American military look better and the Russian military look worse and stuff. Um, but ultimately, I really like this cut. I thought it was pretty good. There are some I the original Japanese version makes more sense. Um, it makes more sense watching it. Uh, the story, I mean, but I for me, it's worth the sacrifice of seeing this version, and the ending definitely hits better in this version for me.
I don't remember the differences, but I know that the Blu-ray copy I have is the 1984 like Japanese subbed edition.
Mm,
Probably has a dub. I haven't checked that quite out, but like I guess I haven't seen the 85 version since I was probably 3 or 4 then. And I didn't really realize that until I watched it. And I don't even remember the Japanese version really.
yeah, I had rewatched the Japanese version more recently because they didn't re-release it on DVD until more recently. Um, but I think probably some good reasons for that are the politics of the film. I think after the Cold War era, um, it made it a bit more difficult politically for Toho to be releasing this film. I know they had to make edits to a lot of the political stuff depending on where they were releasing the film, and that probably started teaching Toho a little bit of a lesson about world politics and Godzilla. Because we ran into a problem like that too with Godzilla vs. Biollante because of how they were portraying what was it, Saudi Arabia, I think, or they might have even made up a country name, but it was like clear who they were like basically referring to, and I think that created difficulty with distribution of that film afterwards as well. But I could be wrong. I did read that it also had something to do with the shared rights with New World Cinema, and sometimes with some of these companies, when you share rights like that, it can be really tricky and really difficult to go and re-release things. Um, King Kong Escapes is a good example of that. I mean, we will probably never ever see Mechanic Kong in anything ever again because
Yeah.
the rights to Mechanic Kong are like and scattered to the wind. Like people own bits of the rights here and there and trying to get them all to come together. And some of those companies might not even exist anymore. A lot of people have passed away, different things. It becomes a complicated mess. And this is how capitalism can kill art in some ways, right? Here's a good example, I think. Um, but yeah, let's see. We got a comment here from Neo Rider. It's a good movie for me. Some are disappointed because there are no monster fights. Yeah, that was a disappointment for me as a kid, which is understandable, but it's just more enjoyable watching Godzilla as an evil monster slash force of nature. Yeah, exactly. They had a lot of,
Yes.
and they made Godzilla scary for this movie. It was a serious film. I really appreciated that even as a kid. There was a lot of Godzilla in this movie. They show him quite a bit. And there's a lot of great Godzilla action. It's mostly night scenes to make the miniatures look better, but that just works so perfectly with the use of like the laser colors and things in this movie. Very 80s, but I loved it. The soundtrack was fantastic. I loved the soundtrack. Um, it didn't have the Akira Ifukube like full suite, but it was still really good. It had its own iconic sound, I feel like.
I kept waiting for the Ifukube little like score to come up, but it just never did.
Yeah.
And
Oh,
I mean, it's all the better for it, honestly. It kind of makes it its own movie, but it's like, with it being number 16 in the series, even though it's really only the second movie in the continuity, you just kind of like, you almost get used to it and expect it.
hmm.
Like how there's musical numbers in the first like 5 or 6 of them.
I used to rewatch the fight with Super X a lot when I was a kid. Oh, that so I I think I always love those military march themes that they have in these films, and that theme that they have for Super X. I freaking love that theme.
Yeah.
They have another really good the Super X 2 theme though. I feel like is even better.
I'm
And
going to have to pay attention to that one.
yeah, that's in Godzilla vs. Biollante. But that was a great theme. I loved that one. Um,
Don't you have a playlist of themes?
I do. I have a playlist of Godzilla movie themes. Well, it's a tokusatsu and kaiju film theme playlist. Well, it's not really themes so much as pop songs from these movies and shows. So it's like basically anything that has lyrics I've thrown in there, and a couple of things that don't, but mostly just stuff with lyrics. But yeah, I have a playlist of that in my playlists. If you go and you take a look, I got the big hits from Godzilla 1985 and 1984 on there. Oh, that's right. Yeah, that's something I didn't cover that I should have. Um, one of the original concepts of this film, Godzilla was going to fight a monster called Baggin. And Baggin's become quite famous in Godzilla lore because they keep All right, so let me read his quote first. I think I heard something about a kaiju named Baggin, which is supposed to, or Bagan, which is supposed to appear in this movie called Godzilla Opponent, but they decided to scrap the idea for the next movie. Yeah, so Baggin was originally a concept for this movie for the Return of Godzilla, and they the monster was going to have was going to fight Godzilla, and then Godzilla would eventually defeat the monster, and then Japan would have to defeat Godzilla. And then I think they had, and Baggin had all these forms. Then I think, but yeah, he had like 3 or 4 different forms. There's like this final form Godzilla would face off against, and they decided, okay, no, we're going to scrap that. It's going to be too expensive if we add in another monster with all these forms and stuff. Would have sold a lot of toys though. So they scrapped the Baggin idea, but now Baggin has become kind of like a running joke that like whenever they say, "Oh, we got a new Godzilla movie coming out," he's going to be fighting another monster. Who's he going to fight? Oh, all these theories. It's going to be Baggin. And they
Yeah, but
also
that's
like
for real going to happen in Supernova.
maybe you never know. But they like to put all these, but they like to use Baggin as a placeholder when making Godzilla movies a lot of times. So sometimes in like artwork when they're like working on like the concept art for like, okay, he's going to face off against a villain. If they don't have that villain like in mind yet, if they don't know who he's going to be fighting against, they'll put Baggin there and stuff like that. So they use Baggin in a way, but he doesn't. He's only appeared in what, Super Godzilla, the video game.
I don't know. I wasn't able to afford video games as a child.
Oh, I thought you said that you had Super Godzilla.
I'm Was that the one on Super Nintendo?
Yeah.
Oh, I couldn't beat the first level on that, so I gave it to my
Oh.
uncle. I
Oh,
was
okay.
bad.
Yeah, Baggin was like the final enemy, and you have to face off. I think the only way you can beat him is as Super Godzilla, which is like this like ultimate form that Godzilla can take, which was also an inspiration for Space Godzilla later on for the appearance of Space Godzilla. You can see it if you look at Super Godzilla. It makes sense. Um, yeah, nope. So they didn't use Baggin, unfortunately, just like they end up scrapping Griffin for the TriStar Godzilla movie. Actually, I think Griffin was for not for the TriStar Godzilla movie. That was for the Stan Winston Godzilla movie. I don't remember if TriStar was originally going to do that one.
I don't know if Emmerich wanted to do that. I think he
Yeah.
just wanted like Goji.
It was probably the same company. I think they just switched directors.
I don't remember anymore.
Yeah.
I'll go down a rabbit hole for like 6 hours in the middle of the night and then completely forget it all.
I know what you mean. Sometimes like information overload.
Yeah.
But yeah, Godzilla 1985, iconic for me. Very special. That's why hubby got me this for Christmas. And I was so happy when I opened this one up. I was like, oh my god, it's 1984 Godzilla. That's the year I was born. He says, I know.
So sweet.
Shadow Skulk is heading off. Have a good night.
Have a good night.
So you
Apparently,
try-
I missed that. Apparently, that one was up here, and I missed it.
Oh, darn.
I'm
Too late
sorry.
now. Well, we still wished a good night.
Yeah, we did. Do we have anything else we want to discuss before we wrap up about Godzilla 1985?
No, I'm pretty good.
Yeah, I think I'm pretty
No, I
good.
mean, like, yeah, it was good, solid. I hope I mentioned practical effects.
What is that? Is that the hamster?
Yeah, I had to perform some hamster surgery. It was successful.
We're kidding. No hamsters were harmed in the filming of this
My
production.
mad scientist abilities are still strong. The sweet power.
All right, so let's see. Let me do
Is there any movies that either of you watch on Halloween that you always watch on Halloween, or do you just vary it?
Pumpkinhead.
random horror movies. There's no like well, I feel like I watch the Elvira movie like once a year, probably around Halloween time. I used to watch The Craft like every Halloween almost, but like or at least
That's a good
around
one.
Halloween time.
I used to do a little medley of Practical Magic, I Married a Witch, Bell Book and Candle, and The Craft.
Okay, I haven't seen I Married a Witch or was it A Spellbook and Candle?
Bell Book and Candle, it's a classic. It's got Jimmy Stewart in it, Kim Novak.
All right.
She has a cat called Pie Wacket, so if you see a reference a horror movie to Pie Wacket, it's pretty much where it comes from.
Okay, because yeah, that sounds familiar.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I feel like a lot of Halloween seasons I'd watch at least one entry from Phantasm.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Righteous.
Those movies like freaked me out when I was a kid. When I was a kid, I didn't really like them, but when I became an adult, I like
Creepy.
loved them. Yeah, they're really dark.
Yeah, they are really dark. Like I think I watched the Hellraiser movies a lot earlier than I should have.
Oh, I was never a fan of those. I've still seen I think all but like one or two of them.
Yeah. The same thing.
No, it was more Phantasm.
So what do we have to promote?
What?
So what do we have to promote?
What do I have to promote? Telemaska, Secret Order. If you like it, if you don't like it, if you watch it, ironically, if you hate watch it, if you like watch it. Doing it with Jamie from Sci-Fi Vision at 11 p.m. tomorrow night. Watch party before.
Sci-Fi Vision's a great channel, a lot of fun. Highly recommended.
Absolutely.
I'm probably gonna like it because I like Mayfair witches and I know I'm in a minority.
Well, so this I might actually like Talamasca, right? Because it's probably not based on any book in particular.
Yeah, they're kind of taking the concept of Telemaska and then adding like new stories, new characters to it, from what I see. Except for the one guy that's in Interview the Vampire is going to be cameoing in it, I think.
David?
I don't know.
Yeah, I haven't seen the show version. But yeah, I think that I'd probably like the Talamasca show. I've heard that the Interview with the Vampire show is really good as well.
Mm-hmm.
Steven with the flaming laser spork, he's a fan of that one. And
yeah, I'm kind of a fan of the whole universe, so whatever they do, I appreciate. They're having like a celebration of life for Anne Rice on November 1st in New Orleans.
Oh,
she dead?
Yeah, about 5 years ago.
Huh.
I don't know why it's taking them so long to have a celebration of life, but it's happening.
Yeah, rest in peace, Anne Rice. She was
there's a couple of channels that are going to be covering it, so I don't have to go down. I mean, there's always it's always nice to have an excuse to go to New Orleans.
I've never been. I think hubby wants to go for our honeymoon when we eventually get like
Ooh,
actually married. Yeah,
yeah, you should. It's really
I think
nice.
I
I
would
like your
enjoy that.
place. Yeah.
It's a few states over for me, so you could stop by
Uh-huh.
and say, "Hey, we have a bonfire or something. Do southern stuff."
I don't know if hubby's gonna let me go and hang out with friends on our honeymoon, but
Yeah, right, right.
I'll float the idea. Might find
I
me
mean,
floating
if you
after,
if y'all drove,
but I think he'd make us take a plane.
yeah, it's more sensible.
So, what do I have to promote? We got From Academy on Friday. We're doing a special Samhain edition, Halloween edition. It's going to be. I actually have to post, and this way out we can get contributions from everyone. But I want to focus on metaphysical related stuff and like occult related stuff regarding the show
Ah.
From. So like and stuff that ties into there. So like I know Robert is like really into like all the numbers. We have someone in the community who's well, oh yeah, Vibrant Numerals was here earlier. I don't know if
A
Vibrant's still
numerologist.
here. So maybe Vibrant would be willing to contribute something regarding to numerology in the show From maybe a theory or just thoughts. Do you have any thoughts, Scarlet, regard like connecting it to anything from neo-paganism or anything?
Yeah,
Hey,
well.
yeah, we can run with some of that. I know we have David and Samuel. They've always got theories that tie into like the Kabbalah, and like I think like Gnosticism
Hmm.
and different Hermetic traditions and stuff. I think
Hmm.
one or two of them are in the Freemasons. I don't know if they both are, or just one of them.
Yeah.
Um,
I can't because I'm a woman.
yeah. And then we got Michael, who's all into Buddhism, and
Seriously, ask them every year when they come to when they came to a music fair in San Diego and had a little booth, and they every year they would tell me no.
we got Taryn with the tarot. Oh, Vibrant is still here. She says, "Of course, nice."
Sweet.
Yeah, everybody should go to Lori's thing beforehand. The trivia on Halloween.
Yes, that's
I mean,
right.
I might be at Goth Rave, I might be out of town, but I want to promote Lori and her channel and
Yeah, I'll be listening in and participating while I can, because I don't get out of work until 11:30.
Mhm.
Um, but yeah, I'll be participating when I can because it's going to be like a little like on stream Halloween party.
Yeah, I think
Hopefully,
I
I'll
get
have
off
my
about the same time.
costume back by then. My
Good.
my lab coat and I. All right, so I don't know where my head covering thing is. I misplaced it
Uh-oh.
while doing reorganizing and cleaning. It'll turn up, I'm sure. I hope. But my red lab coat I brought with me to Julie's. I ended up leaving it in the car, and then I forgot it in there after I came home, and then Tristan put it in like the I had to like hide it um because he was picking up like customers because he does like Uber, and um we're bringing it to his parents to wash it because they have a better washing machine than I do, and I don't know if I don't think mine will get out the black streaks that are on it right now.
Ugh.
Yeah, we got like some sort of like grease
Ugh.
from the car on it.
Ugh.
Oh
Yeah,
I
no.
thought it was something from him Ubering. I was like, ugh.
no, and that was the most expensive part of the costume too.
Oh
So
no.
thankfully it's on the backside, so you're not gonna be able to see it on camera anyway.
Yeah. Lucky for
But
me, when I just wear my regular clothing, people think I'm wearing a costume, so that's cool.
hey, that is kind of cool actually, though.
They're like, yeah, I like your costume. I'm like, no.
Oh,
Well, because sometimes when it's cool, I wear a top hat or a little bowler, steampunk it up.
I dig that. I've worn my goggles out before, like when I'm wearing like because I wear this hoodie like around sometimes,
Hmm.
and I've gone out, put my goggles on top of my hat over here, or wear them around my
Hmm.
neck.
Mm. Well, with the goth stuff and steampunk stuff, there's like, it's more of a lifestyle for most people. It isn't really a cosplay thing, and people kind of made it cosplay, but I'm like, then the steampunks got all upset that they were calling it cosplay. And I knew some people in San Diego that like were living the lifestyle, had a like Victorian farm, raised chickens. Everything was like made out of either brass or glass or wood.
I missed the horror convention, one of the local horror conventions that was happening on yesterday. I went like every year the past 2 years, and then missed yesterday's, and I'm like kicking myself because I had like forgotten about it
Oh, you
midweek,
did? Oh.
and me and hubby meant to go, um, and like I get like I love going to things like that because I you can get like random weird things, and like a lot of them like nowadays have like a lot of like the same like 3D printed stuff. But
Mm.
one of them that I went to was, did I get this one last year or the year before? I think I got this one last year, but it's a 3D printed graboid from Tremors,
Oh.
and I have not been able to find another one of these. I've looked online, and I've looked when I've gone to those types of expos, but I haven't seen another one yet. I'm sure that they're
Huh.
out there, but I freaking love this thing. I think
Yeah,
they
it's
did a
really
great
cool
job
looking.
on it.
I've limited
Eventually,
myself to Universal Monsters things. Oh.
eventually, I'll be able to fit my hand deeper inside this one. Oh wait, that
Yeah.
came out wrong. Um,
Rules!
so so this is a puppet. So this is a puppet that eventually I'll be able to use on here. It's very difficult to get my hand inside it.
Is it
I
supposed to
got
be a child's puppet?
it's the puppet thing is supposed to be a gimmick, like,
Uh,
but there's an instruction video that I've been following very carefully about opening him up and
yeah.
making it so that he's actually a usable puppet rather
Yeah.
than the puppet thing just being a gimmick.
A novelty, yeah.
Yeah, so that's a work in progress because I put it aside for a while. My
Mm.
fiance was kind of creeped out by the puppet thing a little bit, and me practicing like ventriloquism with it and stuff.
Oh.
So,
I thought you
but
put it in a corner so it would just stare at him.
oh no,
Just move it
he gets creeped
momentarily.
out. He gets creeped out by the blade figure because like if
Oh,
I'm in the
yeah.
because I
Yeah.
like to like move that around. So like I've had this thing since I was a kid, and I just like I don't know, I'm kind of attached to it, and yeah, sometimes I'll just have it in like weird places in the bedroom. Be like, Justin, why is that standing there and staring at me? No,
But
that
it
has to be
wants to.
moved. That has to be moved. Put that in a drawer or something. All right. I think that was everything I wanted to advertise. Right? Do we have anything else we want to promote? Oh, hold on. Before we go, we got people in the chat that have channels.
Yeah. Let's go.
Yeah.
Let's see here. Go to channel. We got Vibrant Numerals has a channel. Scarlet, do you actually have a channel?
I do not have a channel.
Okay.
I should have one, but I do not. I want to do those puppet shows and weird little films. It would be very art house, but cheap. I'd let's see what else I would do. I would probably have space operas, but really cheap ones.
That'd be fun.
But I don't know. I don't think I would have it. Like I would have to. Do I have to do like a lot of silly sci-fi and that's it because of the algorithm, or can I do other things?
Yeah, I don't know. I've wondered that too. Like I do all kinds of random stuff on my channel. So
Yeah.
like with the algorithm, I'm probably screwed.
Because I would like to do long form and short form, and I don't know. I mean, whatever I wanted to do. I mean, I thought
That's
about doing Yellow Jackets reviews and making puppets of all the Yellow Jackets, and that's how I do my review. Like little stick puppets, a little stick theater.
But that's why
It's not
we
a bad
made the
idea.
that's why we made the Kaiju and Critter Show channel. Oh yeah, everyone, you should go and subscribe to the Kaiju and Critter Show channel. It's in the description. Um, this way, once we have, I think it's 50 subs, I think we need, then we can actually start streaming to that channel and have it like the algorithm a little bit more focused, and also just have like everything just focused in one channel. I think it'll be easier.
Mhm.
Probably a lot easier.
So I mean, there's gonna be a Yellow Jackets final season. Maybe I'll just start making puppets now.
Oh, did you say there is going to be a final season?
Yeah, the first season's gonna be the final season. But I was gonna act it out like a dramatic play with the little puppets.
Oh,
You
wait.
know, that way when I get blacked out for having clips or audio or whatever.
Wait. So were they approved for season 4?
Yes, they were, but
Yes.
the showrunners say it's the last season though, and
Okay.
it's gonna be their decision, not the Paramount's decision.
Well, that's
That's
for the
good.
best.
Yeah, so it can actually end. It's not like Westworld that got weird at the end, ambiguous, and
Mm.
a lot of shows do that. Raised by Wolves kind of did that.
They pulled
Funny show.
Westworld. I haven't seen like the last 2 episodes of Westworld because they pulled it off of HBO Max right when I was like watching it and had like 2
Ridiculous.
episodes left to watch.
Yeah, it's ridiculous.
It got canceled on a bad cliffhanger, man.
Yeah, I
Like, it
heard
just,
that. I loved that show though. Oh well.
I love the movie, man. Like, I grew up with the movie.
The movie's great. Yeah.
I had never heard of the movie until the show came out, and then I watched I watched the movie, and then I watched the sequel to the movie, Future World.
Future World. Yeah.
I watched a little bit of the TV show, but not much.
Beyond Westworld. Yeah.
Yeah, Atlas World. That was what it was called, right?
No, it's Beyond Westworld.
Beyond Westworld. That's right. Yeah,
Yeah.
the original Westworld show. Um, but yeah, I watched a little bit of that. Not much. I don't really remember it very well. I feel like seasons after season 1 of Westworld kind of like took more from Future World.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it kind of lost a little something when it just went to kind of sci-fi, and it didn't really quite have. Once it left Westworld, I mean, it totally like relates to what we were talking about with the movies because Aaron Paul is supposed to be the everyman, allegedly.
All right, I think it's about time for us to wrap things up.
Yeah, I got work in the morning.
Yeah, I got work in the morning.
I'll do a quick bibliography, and then we can give our thank yous and goodbyes. So some references for this show have been so I watched a whole bunch of watched a whole bunch of YouTube videos prepping for this all. So I'm gonna list where I watched. So up from the depths reviews, Paper Fins, Dragon Curve, Jeremy Weiselberry, Panda the Manda, Secret Galaxy, Big Action Bill. Oh yeah, if you want, so like I didn't do a full deep dive on this movie, but if you want a really good full deep dive on this movie, check out the one by Big Action Bill. Big Action Bill like always seems to put out like the like best like history of like whatever Godzilla movie. He just does a fantastic job.
He's the best.
Yeah,
we need to get him on the show.
Brandon Tenold also does a great job. There are 2 versions. Oh no, there's only one. I just put the wrong one on here. All right, let's see. Brandon Tenold did a really good one, really fun. And Paper Fins actually did 2 that I covered. All right. But Paper Fins has out all the differences between Godzilla, The Return of Godzilla, which is the Japanese version, and Godzilla 1985. So if you want to see something with all the that like shows you like he does like a shows you like the scene by scene what all the differences are. Go and check that out. That's Godzilla 1985 Differences by Paper Fins, Fins with an Finz. And then and I also went to Wikizilla, IMDb, and then for Zarkorr, I watched The Making of by Full Moon Empire World. Cinemassacre Clips had a review. Sort of Water Cooler Films, Games Along, Corrupt Nostalgia, TSTTV, Rogue Agent Killer Rodan, Godzilla Man Gaming, Go Go Kaiju Show, and Ashley and Riagan. That one I actually don't think I finished watching. I think I only watched a little bit of it. And then there were actually the best stuff that I found on Zarkorr were podcasts. And what was this one called here? Monster Crazy, I think, had the best one, if I remember right. Now, there's another one that's not the one I listened to all the way through. Hold on. Kaiju versus History. That was it. Kaiju versus History, episode 112, Zarkorr the Invader. And so that's my bibliography of stuff I watched in prep for this and read or listened to. And I want to give a special thanks to the Don Tony Teflon. He's probably streaming right. Oh no, his stream's probably already over. I kind of competed with his stream tonight, and I'm sorry. We're probably going to be doing an earlier show next time, so that doesn't happen. But special thank you to Tony. If it wasn't for Tony of Teflon TV, I probably wouldn't have gotten the inspiration to be here. I wouldn't know Scarlet. I wouldn't know Julie. I wouldn't be doing From Academy. So thank you, Tony. Of course, thank you, Scarlet, for being here, being awesome and supportive as always.
You're very welcome. I'm glad that you're
Very
so
many
thorough
thanks.
with the videos you watched and prep and everything, giving shout outs to those people.
Oh, of course. And thank you, of course, Krittur. Obviously, this show wouldn't happen without you.
You're the
I don't know what I'd be doing otherwise.
And thank you to Julie B, Julie B Deep Dives, Dieter the Goat, Lady Shasha, Tony Man 100, Amy, our great moderator, and of course our G-Spot Kaiju College crew, like Vibrant Numerals and Kelly and Kimberly and everyone else, Shadow Skulk, all of you all, and my one patron on Patreon, TC.
Yes. I always wanted Julie to get a Patreon.
Yeah, she should.
You should.
She should have when we were peaking.
All right. Well, good night, everyone. Thank you so much for joining us. I appreciate you all.
Night.
Have a great night. Oh,
That was adorable.
that was. Good night.
Everybody needs sweetness in her life.